Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Guys, we've got a bit of proper 12 here. It's almost like the opposite of Sober October on the JRE podcast. That's the Joe Rogan Experience, if you don't know. We've got a couple of guests here. We've got Dom Scopelliti from Visual Domain. And then how are you, man?
Yeah, good chap.
He's even talking like us now.
I'm a big fan.
No, so you said champ for a reason?
No, man. Just because we're drinking this. That's
good, I like
that.
that.
Champ.
And we also have Frankie, Marafioti. We can say entrepreneur, we can say cafe owner, mind coach. We can say a lot of things about Frank. Is that alright? Is that a good intro?
Yeah, thanks Nick. Thanks for the intro. Thanks.
Good intro.
Plug the cafe. What cafe do you go?
Since I met Harry at Uni SA,
Oh.
yeah, at McGill.
Okay.
And then,
I study at McGill.
do you?
Mm.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah,
Unreal.
up there.
Beautiful.
Nick, you don't want a whiskey?
Nah, all good, man.
I need a bit of a mic too.
Yeah, take it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys. Look
Cheers,
in the
boys.
eyes. Look in the
Cheers.
eyes. Frank always says you got to look in the eyes.
7
Cheers,
years,
champs.
7 years
Seven-
bad sex.
7.
7 years bad sex.
Hey, Nick, do you feel like Michael Jordan with that fucking thing there, champ?
I'm actually getting aside just to smoke a cigar. I actually went to Rebel Sports yesterday and went to buy a baseball bat as well. Nah, I didn't.
You bought 4 pairs of Jordans.
No, I want to. I want to buy pairs of Jordan. What do you think about like TV shows when they come out? Everyone buys into the hype of like, you know, like, because obviously Michael Jordan, like everyone wants to buy Jordan shoes. And then, you know, you watch Joe from, what's that TV show that you guys were talking about before from Netflix where he kills people on a social network?
Oh,
You go end up killing your crush on Instagram. Like, is there a link between...
You start stalking every chick because you love that show.
You don't know.
Yeah, but
I actually
it's
watched
true
you.
though,
I
man.
actually watched you, and I was like,
Is that why you're wearing the baseball cap?
I was like, how did the writers think of like ways to like do that shit? Like, obviously they do it or something. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, why do you think everyone hates Quentin Tarantino? Like, my mum and her friends are like, I don't like that guy. Because he's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, it's true. But what do you think about like people? Like I watched Jurassic Park during quarantine as well, and I was like, I want to buy a hat. I want to buy a Jurassic Park hat, a Jurassic Park
part of
t-shirt.
I want to buy a
Nostalgia.
dragon.
Is that why your hands have been up near your chest?
Yeah.
Nick's like, he's like, wow!
Always running around his backyard.
Yeah. That's why I try to eat my dad last week. No, but is that what do you
Is
think?
that why you're trying to lick a lot of puss?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What?
What? Yeah.
It's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Easy, man.
But what do you think? Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think? Like, why do you like people? We do that.
I think it's cool, man.
Yeah,
And it's good because like
it's part of the.
for Jordans, like Jordans are a big thing, like the shoe.
Yeah.
With the Last Dance, like the Netflix series. Like I saw Culture Kings have put ads up and stuff for like the Champions tees, like the
97.
the retro
Yeah.
stuff, and they're like selling out and all of
Yeah.
that. So if you're a business that can capitalize on some of these shows like that, fucking own.
Why not?
It's nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
So it's like bringing back to the nostalgia of the 90s.
I agree.
100%. Not 90s fashion's in. I mean, look at Nick's top. Looks like a Hot Wheels packaging.
Yeah, it does.
I was gonna ask you, where'd you get that from?
I
Salvos.
Yeah, no. I got it from I think I got it off the internet, man. ASOS or something.
That's cool.
Comfortable, man.
I like it.
What's been happening, guys, this week? What have you guys been doing during quarantine? Asking, are you guys on the show or do I
I forgot.
do I have to unplug all the fucking microphones?
Hey, hun, unplug the PowerPoint.
Nah.
So the lights are going to go
Oh,
out.
fucking hell.
No, what have I been doing? I recorded a new music video for some Aussie rapper. I don't know if you know. His name's Stephen Rossi, I think.
Who's that?
He's got a new single that's called To The Light. Get it now.
It's a lot.
Out now. All platforms. No, I've been doing
Thanks,
creative
man.
stuff, man. Just been doing stuff. Like, trying to get stuff done because, like, now there's no events and that. So I'm a photographer. So with all the events all gone, I got to think of new ways to kind of make some money, get creative again. So I've just been working on a documentary.
Oh, awesome. What's it about?
It's about coronavirus.
Okay, cool.
And I'm showing the effects of just like everyday people and like
Right.
how it's impacted everyday people. Whereas like you consume the news and the media every day, and you see like how everyone's impacted as a whole. But I'm doing like a mini series and like just sitting down and interviewing different types of people from different occupations and just seeing their thoughts and how they've been coping and stuff.
Has it affected you? You reckon?
Oh, 100%.
Like not personally, like not like forget like photography and that,
Yeah,
but like as a human, like got day to day. Do you think it's like affected you mentally or anything? Like,
Oh, mentally,
obviously,
100%, because I'm a very like I like to hang out with my mates. I love to chat. I love to I'm a very outgoing person.
Social person. Yeah.
And like being stuck at home doing nothing is like driving me insane. Not being able to complete something and not being able to capitalize on something, like it just annoys me because I'm always doing something. I'm always busy, and now all of a sudden I'm not busy. It's like, what do I do with my life?
Yeah.
So I sit there and I think and overthink and like it's like that. Yeah, shit like that.
We're the perfect man for the job. Right next to you to help you out with that.
Tell me.
Frankie, how are you?
That's a good intro. Now, Frank, what about you, man?
I thought that was a good segue, dude.
He's
Easy on the scotch, bro.
Yeah. What about you, Frank?
F1 track.
What about you? How do you think you're dealing with coronavirus individually?
As personally, I think I've been alright. I think for me, obviously the businesses have all ceased, have all closed down. In the beginning, it was a little bit difficult to try and readjust and try and figure out ways to basically try and figure out ways that I'm going to be able to keep the businesses afloat or operational. Being at universities and government spaces, they were closed down, so had to quickly look at a way that we can look after the staff. And then I dived heavily into what I want to do long term, which is peak performance coaching, mental coaching, mindset coaching, stuff like that. So I think this coronavirus has really affected a lot of people mentally.
Yeah.
More so because people are having to stay home and having to sit inside their own spaces and sit on their own on with themselves or with their family members. And as you can see, there's a lot of divorces happening at the moment. So a lot to do with that.
Where'd you see that?
No, I was about to say, have you got paperwork to back that up?
Yeah, I was like, what?
No, is it true?
Yeah, Italy's had the biggest increase in divorces rate since the coronavirus.
Wow.
Doesn't help that the houses they're living in are 3x2.
Yeah,
I suppose you have to realise you're living day in, day out with your spouse, 24 hours.
And I'm not gonna lie, the Italians love living outside of their houses, man.
Even here, though, I've seen houses on the market because of divorces. My friend just bought a house, and they just built it. Divorce.
I know. I've actually got another story. Couple have been together for 10 years, planned on getting married this year. I heard. They went to buy the house, and now they realise during Corona they don't want to be together. Yeah. So they have to sell the house and not go towards the wedding.
Because our lives are so busy, man.
Maybe,
and you never really have 100% time for someone.
You know what it is? It's we have a perception of what life should really be like, or what your relationship means to you, right? Yeah. And if that relationship doesn't live up to that every day, it's like you live in a false sense of security. Yeah. So when you go out to work, if a lot of people are taken off to work every day, and it's an escape from what your life home is, what it really is. Yeah. And so when you come home and you actually have to fucking stay there, and you got to be with that person 24/7, you start to realize, is this really what I want in my life? Am I really wanting this person in my life, or am I really wanting this career path? Yeah. That's why a lot of this is really, I think it's going to help the world a lot. I think it's helped a lot of people that I've talked to over the last 6 weeks really realise what it is they really, really want in life.
Yeah.
Makes sense because, you work hard all week and then on Friday night, Saturday night, you might have a few drinks, go out, you forget about it, then Sunday comes, you fucking ironing your shirt for work Monday, and then you're just back at work. But like Frank said, you're actually home Friday night, Saturday, and then you're like, do I really want to be at this job? Yeah.
Everyone Wednesday night's like a Saturday night now.
I saw a funny tweet. Someone's like, Friday's really lost its razzle dazzle. Thought that was hilarious.
Did you tweet that
though?
No, I didn't.
He starts promoting his own tweets now.
I just read a tweet. You cunts are fucked.
Yeah.
And that's true though. It's
very true.
Friday was that hype day. Sunday was that depressing evening, and everyone had to go back to a fucking job they hated.
Sunday nights.
Remember when you? For me, it was
sickly.
You know what's the worst? When you're having so much fun, and then that thing in your head just goes, we work Monday, and then you get so depressed. You're like, fuck, I'm not really having fun now.
Boy, one of my best mates, right, loves fishing. Shouts out to Mosby, right? Listen to this one. This guy got up every day, and you used to count down the days before, the 6-week school holidays, done last week, you got to cherish that. You're like Monday bike ride, Tuesday soccer, Wednesday basketball, Thursday PlayStation day, Friday family day. And like, dude, listen to this. He was going fishing that much. He lost track of time, date, everything. He was maybe about 14. Listen to how he found out he had to go to school. His mum was over him, shaking him, going, get up, you got to go to school. He had no idea that the holiday...
Obviously, he lost orientation.
Dude, he had no idea he was going back to start his new year level. He was not mentally prepared. He woke up to go to school that day with his mum going, get up, get up. I was like, dude, I count down the days. I'm mentally prepared for that shit.
For school?
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, for school.
But even like you're saying, Dom, for work, like the night before, you think you're like, I gotta go, and what the trigger is, 60 Minutes comes on. You're like,
On a Sunday
you're
night.
like, it's Sunday night.
Yeah.
You lock in, you watch some depressing thing about how an aircraft carrier went down 6 years ago, and the pilot survived.
And you're like, fuck.
I've got school tomorrow.
School tomorrow.
And all your dad's in the other room going, get to bed.
Yeah,
Oh, when your parents do that, those ones, it's like, you better go to bed because you got school early tomorrow, and you're like, fuck.
Dude,
It's Sunday night.
Dude.
Yeah.
I used to pretend I liked other shows to get an extra half hour. I'd go,
You watch 60 Minutes?
No. Other
Yeah.
shows. Other shows would be like, I'd look in the TV guide. Remember those days? I'd look in the TV guide and go, Mum knows I like Malcolm in the Middle, but that's going to finish at 9, but I don't want to go to bed, so I don't want to go to school. So I'd find some other bullshit show and go, Mum, I like that show too now. She goes, oh, do you? Yeah, you can stay up for a bit and watch that.
No, my mum's
Never,
not like that.
never
man.
liked that show.
Yeah, it happened that you do crazy stuff, man. I think going back to the corona, like, well, what's the world gonna look like outside of this now? You know, like once we all, like, I know we're all merging back into life now, slowly but surely, but like, what's relationships gonna be like now? What's dating gonna be like? What's traveling? What's business gonna be like? There's all these things now. It's gonna change. It's cool. I think it's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I made this documentary, I think, because not in my lifetime now, have I seen something as big, like, maybe the last thing was like, September 11th was like a big, like, worldwide thing.
Dude, you were one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it wasn't anything. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I was alive, and that was a big
Yeah, but
thing.
you
But I wasn't living in that.
He was one.
Yeah, he was one.
Yeah, I'm only 20 years old.
Did that cook you?
Yeah, chum!
Owns his own business. Owns his own
Only 20 years
business.
old. Do you not know that?
No.
You were 1
This
years
is the
old.
same reaction
No,
I get
hang on.
to every
Yeah,
Hang on,
dude,
hang on, hang on.
you've had a
You're
beard
not-
for
you're
7
not-
years.
Yeah, what are you,
I'm
fucking
20
10 when
years
you had a
young.
fucking
Yeah,
beard?
20 years young. Yeah,
You
but
look like Drake spat on the side of the ground and you grew.
I came out of the womb with a fucking beard, bro.
Yeah, I believe it.
I don't doubt that.
I don't.
No,
My parents
it's not
don't know what I
about-
look like without a beard.
No, it's not about your appearance of looking older. You carry yourself as older.
Yeah, everyone says that. Like, I've matured.
It's a
Yeah,
good
well, you
thing.
switched
It's a
on,
very
man.
good
You,
thing.
you started a business and he got to work, dude.
Thanks, dude.
It's good.
Good work builds a good character. You know those
Yeah,
guys?
shut the fuck
Yeah. Wait, can we have a normal conversation?
It's true. When you work hard,
Yeah,
like,
I know.
it builds character
Yeah,
quick,
it's-
dude. You
yeah.
become
But that's the
grown.
same reaction I get to everyone when I'm like, yeah, I'm 20 years old. They're like, excuse me? What?
Wow.
I'm like, no, I'm 40, relax. And
No,
they're
it's
like,
a good
oh,
thing.
yeah. But no, serious, 20.
It's a good thing, man. You carry yourself really well.
Thank you.
Not about your looks.
Oh,
Don't
thank
take it like that either.
Do you want his number, dude?
No, he's got a missus.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not on the fence either. I like women.
Fair enough.
Glad you felt like you had to fucking...
I reckon
That's
we
right,
ran
that.
through about 6 topics there: sexuality,
He's also single,
beards,
guys. Stream his
mindset.
Stream his new song to the light.
Stream my new song, Nixon Actor, Frank single, and Dom's 45. Anyway,
As I was saying though, like I thought like about this documentary why I'm doing it because like not in my lifetime has anything like this that has affected the entire world happened. And I'm thinking back to like when I'm in school learning about history and learning about the World War and that. We read like books in like Anne Frank's diary, you know, like shit like that.
yeah.
But then now, what are people gonna read about and look at in the years to come, like about coronavirus? Like, so why can't my documentary be something like that?
That's brilliant.
So that was
I
my
like
idea.
I like that.
So you think it's gonna have an effect like World War II? How we study World War II, we study
I think we will
coronavirus.
study coronavirus because the world's not gonna be the same. After
Nah,
this.
I think this is a big one.
That's what I thought, and I was like,
This is
why not
definitely
have
a
a
big one,
piece
man.
of content out there that people could use?
Well,
You know,
put it this
or
way,
could
like...
look at for their
well-
next research project in 2056.
That's right. And put it this way, war in Iraq, like we could still fly to America. Dude, that was a big war for United States of America, and we could still fly there. You know?
Yeah, I think this as coronavirus, I think
massive.
it's a world, it's such a global thing that it shut down economies, like shut down everything.
Of course.
So the aftermath of this is going to be very, very different in the sense of, I dare say there's a lot of fear driven into this, like in the sense of whether it's something that is such danger, right? That's something we won't know. I think in Adelaide we're lucky that we don't have to experience all of that, but to see what effect it's had on the world and to see what effect it's having on people, individual people, families, like seeing people how they treat people at cafes and shit now. As if like they can't stand next to someone, they're gonna fucking die. Like just put a bit of perspective where you are as well.
The biggest thing is like the fear of the unknown now. That's the biggest thing, and I've heard that so much because everyone's like, I don't know.
But see,
I
think SA is perfect. We've got one active case at the moment.
Yeah, but hang on. This is what I was talking to you about before earlier tonight. Like, one thing that the thing that people forget, right, is the unknown. Unknown is not understanding something.
Yeah.
So what you did, which is inspiring for other people, and you're 20 years old, is you went out. You didn't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you went and researched it, and you understood it to some level, right?
Yeah.
And you're now creating a document that can. Or a documentary that can go and help others understand this in the future. Yeah. Or better understand it in the next 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is. Yeah. But you got up and you did something about it for yourself because you didn't understand something. Well, why don't people go and better understand? Yeah. Not understanding something is because you don't understand yourself. Yeah. Right? And the two different things about there's fear and there's faith, right? Yeah. They're both the same. Yeah. You can't see it.
Yeah, correct.
It's like fear and faith, you can't see any of them. You can't grab it. But they're exactly the same.
It's true.
So which would you choose? You'd rather choose faith, wouldn't you? Over fear.
100%.
Yeah. So they're both things that you've got to believe in. They're both things you've got to put effort into and time and emotion and feeling. So why not put feeling into faith?
And I agree with that. And I find a lot of people are scared because they feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything, or I'm not like, you know, I don't have a job, so I'm a piece of shit. You know, I'm speaking to people and they're acting like that. Yeah. You know, but it's not true, man. It's just we're all going through a thing, and I think like I'm about to say, like I think I've said this heaps of times, dude, this is going to change the game for the better now, because people are actually going to align with what they really want to do. You got this time to think about what the fuck you really want to do. Do you know what I mean?
That's that. Yeah, and I think people who are sitting down and like, oh, when am I going to travel to fucking Europe again, man? Who cares? Like, you've got so much time in your hands right now.
What are you grateful for, too?
What are you grateful for? What have you taken for granted that now you're like, fuck, you know what? That didn't even matter. Because now I can't go anywhere.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Valuing other people is really important.
I think that's huge, too. And there's so much time now to do something. There's been so many things that I wanted to start a podcast, like do something creative, because I've been stuck doing the same thing every weekend. Do you know what I mean? And now I've got all this time. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm gonna do it, because what else am I gonna do?
And you realise now too how much shit did I do beforehand that did nothing for me.
And you're filling the space.
Yeah, like you were like, I was thinking about how about all those times where I was like, nah, I can't be bothered going for a run, or I'm too busy. Busy doing what? Yeah. You know, like those moments
when you're like, oh, I could do this, but I'm busy. But then you go and sit down and like play on your phone on fucking Facebook, scrolling through Facebook for like an hour.
And now you realise during Corona, you realise that now, because you're like, I've actually got nothing to do for the whole day. So it's put into perspective that I actually have all this free time. And look what I do now.
And that's right. And we realise that when there's all these distractions are gone, that those distractions are actually caused by us. We cause them all ourselves. Like you said, oh, I'm busy, and then you end up sitting on your phone.
It's a choice.
You weren't busy. It was a choice. Yeah. You can choose to go for a run. You don't like, but you felt like in that moment you want to create another fucking distraction because you really didn't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? But you can really do whatever the fuck you want to do any day.
Yeah. And I've noticed now, like with Corona, like obviously, like Facebook and Instagram was always there, but now I'm like, they're just infinity apps. That just help you. They just, you sit there, it doesn't end.
Yeah, it never does.
It's never going to end. That feed is not going to end.
No.
And that's the loop that everyone gets in now. So I call them the infinity apps.
I like that.
Yeah?
I like that, man.
Because you just sit there and you're just scrolling and scrolling, and it's never going to end, and you're never going to get up and go and have that shower that your fucking mum's telling you to have, She's like, get in the fucking shower, I got school tomorrow. But he was on Facebook like, oh, hey, Johnny, he's going live, bro.
Yeah. How many people have gone live doing different things?
We went live.
I've been live.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, you guys went live too.
Oh, I saw that.
I've been live with Steph, been live with Frank. I don't know about you, man.
No, I'll come live, bro. We're doing one.
No, yeah. But you know what? And you start taking up activities, man. I started hanging out with my grandma, man. You know, stuff like that. Went to the cemetery.
You take it for granted before.
Yeah, man. That's nothing.
That's
Relationships with people.
Yeah. It's a really big thing.
You look at people differently.
Huge.
You know, I reject people's calls now a lot more.
Especially when you see this.
When I see
Steph's face come up. Message me 50 things a day.
Yeah, you decline editing the cast and that as well. It's cool, man. It's good. While you're at home and stuff, relaxing. It's good.
There's that silence now.
Yeah.
Just take it in. Take it in. Just breathe.
Wait, can I just comment on one thing? We're having a deep conversation and Steph just decides to get a wrench and start.
Nah, because I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, I got something wrong with me where this mic keeps dropping and I'm fucking trying it, but I need to get the other side. I need to get a different special screwdriver to do the other side just to tighten it so we can sit up a little bit. It's hanging.
Nick's trying to talk and Steph's with a wrench and he's like,
scary. I got scared. No, I got scared, dude. I've done some weird stuff though during coronavirus.
Yeah.
Saint Corona.
I don't think I told you this story. Have I told you this story? Anyway, so
no phones, man.
Oh,
no, I'm joking.
It's my mum.
sorry. But a couple of weeks ago, I went up to Mount Lofty at 11:30 at night with my friend Simon.
I thought you went by yourself.
No. So you drive up those windy roads. They're actually pretty intense.
Yeah, they're a bit fucked at night.
Yeah.
I
actually, like, you know, I was in the car. I was in the car in the passenger seat.
Yeah, and he was going like this.
No, but I was playing it cool. You know when you play it cool? Deep
we're about to go off a ledge, but it's alright.
Yeah, deep down you play it.
You look to the right and Simon's eyes are just glazing over.
Hang on.
Like,
No, I'm looking at...
Hang on, you're in the back.
No, in the front seat. What do you mean in the back?
Did you say in the back?
No, in the front. I said I was in the front next to him.
Oh, I thought you had someone else.
No, it was me. No,
Smack someone up, put them
it
in
was
the
me.
car.
And I thought, I had this, tell me if this is crazy, but I had this moment, I was in the car, I'm like, is my mate going to kill me?
Well, because you're going
I just had this, have you ever had like weird, I was like,
some weird negative
yeah.
thought. Yeah, it's one of those like, it's never going to happen, but...
Yeah, is he taking me out here like, to take me to Mount Lofty just to kill me?
Yeah, you're watching too many movies, man.
You've been watching YouTube.
But anyways, I was grabbing onto the, what do you call those things that hang?
Side.
What do you call them when you put your dry cleaning when you pick it up from Tip Top? What do you
Yeah,
call them?
the fucking thing.
The handle.
Yeah.
What the fuck that
I was hanging on that,
the,
swerving. Anyways, Simon goes, I know this great lookout. This is when I knew he was going to kill me. I mean, no, this is when I started to get
We'll
weird.
make a move on
He goes, there's this lookout, but you have to walk up to it. And I'm thinking, okay, so there's like this little like walk up. We get there, there's this big gate.
Yeah, it's smart as hell, isn't it?
No, it was at the top.
You know you fuck when he was walking in front of it, man.
No, he didn't say that. But he goes, there's a gate, Nick, we might have to jump it. And we walk. And I go, what the fuck?
But we guys go Narnia.
No, I got scared a little bit. I'll be honest, I got scared. I was like, what the fuck? So we go to the car, Simon goes, all right, get this boot. He goes, I'm going to get my hammer. I go, what the fuck? So now you see what... Now you see where I was going. I was like, yeah, he's going to hammer me in the back of the head. He's going to drag my body this way. I started like scoping out.
Believed it.
Started texting my mum, like, mum, if you don't hear from... No. Anyways, we got there, the gate was swung open. It was already open with the padlock on the ground. I swear to God.
I would not have went in there.
So guess what happened? He goes, let's walk, let's go.
Nah, those people, not my friends.
I had a moment, I was like...
I'm the same.
Yeah? Would you have gone?
Would I?
Yeah.
I shit it, man.
But I might.
No way.
Anyway,
Simon was
Cole's car park,
Simon
there's no
might
lights
have
on, I'm
died.
not going.
it was my friend. Anyway, so we started...
No fret.
We started with...
A little bit.
Nick, Simon
I have
goes...
those thoughts too.
Yeah,
I'm a
Everyone
fredder.
does.
I'm a fredder.
Yeah, you...
Dude, you would have called Triple O like, on the ground.
He would have
Convulsing.
passed out in the
I
car.
would get me hammer too.
Nah, you would have passed out. You would have been out cold in the car.
I reckon you would have killed Simon first.
I would have said, let me hold it. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like,
oh!
And the moment he had the thought someone's going to kill me, pummeled him in the car while he's driving.
dude, you know what it is? It's like Fight Club. You were the bad guy the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so...
Has anyone seen
Spoiler
Simon?
alert.
No, I haven't seen... Stop playing... That's why Simon's mobile's off.
Is that why I've been trying to ring the guy who doesn't answer?
Anyway, so we start walking up the thing. He goes, take my...
He is a
Simon gave me a jacket as well. We started walking up. And I go, Simon, I felt something, man. I felt it. I was like, nah, I don't want to walk. Like, I was game at the start.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll just have a little bit of fear. Nothing's gonna, not nothing's gonna kill me, but nothing's gonna happen up there. And when we started walking up there, I'm like, nah, Simon, someone's up there. I go, how long's the walk? He goes, about 5 minutes. I said, no fucking
Longest
way.
5 minutes of your life.
He had this little torch. I was like, nah, no chance. We walked maybe about 150 meters. He's like, you don't feel right, do you? And I'm like, nah, I don't feel right. I'm like, do you feel right? He's like, yeah, I'm not sure either. He goes, I don't know about two of us.
I'm like that.
You like that? Yeah.
Like we'll be doing something like going up into like a dark area or like a dark place and like let's go to this lookout here. Don't worry, man. It's just a 5-minute walk in the dark.
No.
2 minutes in, I'm like, wait, should we just go back to the car and like go somewhere else?
But it's
and they're like, no, just come, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine. I've done it before. But then you start hearing noises.
Your mate's on death row now. The guy that wanted it.
Yeah, I'm really interested in like going to duty afar with your mates in double cap and tracksuits.
My friends are sometimes like, wait, let's go see some haunted houses, man.
You know those those guys are like, going to duty afar.
I don't
I've got my new cap and tracksuit. We're going to duty afar.
I don't fuck with that energy, man. So I said to him, we're turning around. We got back. I felt so relieved after.
You feel good
and then we drove off. I'm like, how do we get out of here?
Out of danger.
I started making calls. So, do we turn right here? Like, just to make sure he knew where he was going. I'm like, so it's a quick right there, left. We're not in the rally cars. You know, like, just quick left, right.
You knew you were fucked when he called up someone.
What do you mean?
And he's like, we didn't come through that way, but we'll meet you another
Oh,
way.
yeah. No, but you know what I mean? Like, with the energy. Have you ever been in a place where it's like, you know it's not right? Like, it's a bit off? I'm waiting for you guys to tell me stories.
Did anything happen up there?
No, we turned around and went home.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of shit. Like a lot of young teenagers used to go to those places, like abandoned fucking hospitals.
Yeah, all those abandoned. Like when my friends are like, "Oh, let's go suss out this abandoned like house." I'm like, "It's abandoned for a reason, man. We're not going there."
Yeah, and like my mate went in one, and I think it was Julia Farr, and there's like 4 or 5 levels. You get to the top, there's like fucking junkies in there and shit. And he reckons he got to level 2, and he saw the word shit written on the wall with shit. And it stunk. It was like dried out and stinky.
Yeah,
and then you could hear like, and like they were like, "Fuck this for a joke."
This one time I went to this house at Campbelltown. It's all fenced off, and they've got like, I don't know, they've got like billboards that tell you about the house. Like no one lives in there.
Right.
Like it's just all fenced off, and it tells you like this was like an orphanage back in the day, you know.
Ooh.
And like there's this massive pit that like it looks like there was fire there. And like we started going up this hill towards this house, and as you got closer to the top, there was like a green light you could see in the house. That was end game for me. I was like, "Nah, we're turning around, boys. Like, can you see that light? Nah, that's fuck. We're not going in there." They're like, "Come on, keep going. It's just an exit sign."
Wow.
I'm like, "What do you mean, man? There's like a ghost in there. We're not going up there."
Yeah, some weird.
We went up there.
It's all perspective, isn't
We
it?
went up there. No light anymore.
Turned off.
No light in the house.
That's a bit buzzed out.
And I was like, "Boys, where's the exit sign you're talking about?" They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You just said there was an exit sign." Right, and then I started sketching.
And then you start tripping balls.
Yeah, I'm like, "Nah,
we
hold
had
on
a
a second.
convo
Someone's in my brain.
They're like,
Someone's telling
we
me."
didn't have that convo.
Yeah, and then they start going around you in a circle and start singing like a lullaby.
What? Who are your friends?
And then they go, "Eat him, eat him."
It's from the fucking the others.
No, but then they were all like chilled, like, "Yeah, let's go up here, let's go tap on the door and shit." Like,
Yeah, some guys are just dead.
But yeah, there was some light, and then the light went away, and then I was freaking out. I was like, "Let's get out of here, let's get out of here." Then one of my friends, you know, one of those heroes, that goes, makes a scary noise, and then I just bolted down the hill.
Yeah,
I hate those. I lose it at them.
I was done.
There's something about that
I
stuff.
enjoy that like adrenaline rush. While someone's frittering, like, done.
Nah, it's not normal. I went to the Blue Mountains in Sydney for a ghost tour once.
Yeah.
I think I've spoken about it in a podcast before, haven't I?
I don't think so.
I haven't. I've been in the ghost
I'll
tour.
tell you.
I haven't.
No, you haven't.
I went to on a ghost tour in the Blue Mountains where like Ivan Milat actually dropped bodies and it's pretty buzzed out, man.
I couldn't do it.
We went into like an old like a parliament house, like an ancient parliament house.
Yeah.
We sat in there with like little radio devices, all the lights
yeah.
off. Yeah, it's full on, man. And you like hear like wow, wow, wow. Like you hear like it's all vibrational. That's what it goes back. It's all vibrational stuff. That's all it
You
is.
hear Bon Funk MC's newest single. Wow, wow.
Oh yeah. Frank, you have some stories, dude, with your mum and that.
Oh.
Yeah, some, but not
Scary.
Nah, not like I've had moments where I've been staying at a very good friend of mine's house, right, and asleep, and it's one of the old Cooper family homes. So up in Springfield, the Cooper family.
Don't know that.
Cooper.
Coopers.
The beer.
Cooper the beer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Good clarification.
So it's a
I thought you were talking about Cooper O'Donnell from Metro Stars. Go on.
Well,
You know?
the Cooper family.
yeah.
Cooper's his first name. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Man.
I don't know the Cooper fan.
Failed
No.
Year 9 English comprehension exercises. Yeah, go.
I did. No, I didn't. I was very good at English. Side note.
Oh, you let him tell the story,
Steph's now
bro.
rocking in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go, man. I'm trying to break the ice. Go on.
So this really old house, like really old ancient home with big history and farming background and stuff like that. Sleep midnight. I don't know what time it was, but I woke
What were you
up.
doing there?
I was asleep
No,
at a friend's
who-
house.
hang on a second.
Wait, so you're friends with the Cooper family?
No, it wasn't the Cooper family that owned the house at the time. Just
Oh,
another
okay,
friend.
okay.
it's
Oh,
someone else's
right,
house.
right.
So
I
anyway,
know what Nick's getting at, I think.
yeah, pack him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And I wake up like I woke up. You know when you have those? I don't know if you've ever had it, but when you wake up in the middle of the night, like as if something's like come through you, like you wake up like as if it's just like that.
Like an
You ever had
instant
that,
wake
like,
up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
has just shocked you awake, but you're like
You're like a cold
awake.
wind through your back. Like,
Yeah, but I don't know how to explain it, right?
My sleeping's weird though. Like I've cooked dreams. We'll get into that
Yeah.
later. But yeah, keep going.
Well, it was as if something had like come through me to wake me,
Yeah.
and pitch black in the room, real dark room,
I
like
can't sleep like that.
big window on the side, bed like up against the wall on my right,
Nah, you don't sleep next to walls.
and I was up against the wall, right? And I woke up. I remember coming up like this, sitting upright as if I hadn't been asleep. That's how much awake I was.
Oh,
It was actually a scene from The Exorcist.
And I'm like,
sounds.
I was just looking around the room because it felt
Oh, yeah.
fucking weird.
Yeah, I remember this.
And in the corner of the room
Nah.
was a little girl
Nah,
on the
done.
floor crying.
See
Nah,
you,
I'm done.
champ.
I'm
like,
done there.
I'm talking screaming, crying.
Nah.
Screaming, crying. And I was like, but no one was in the fucking room. It was like a ghost.
You're dreaming though, right?
No, I was
Nah.
completely awake.
Yeah, it happened. Real.
Completely awake.
Buzzed out.
Completely
Nah.
awake. And the girl who
Nah,
was next to me, she woke up, she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, what? I was like this. I was just like that.
Wait, who's saying what's wrong to you?
This girl that was sleeping
I
next
just
to me.
wanted to say.
Yeah.
So Frank was with a girl. He wasn't picking up a slab of cookers.
I thought you were trying to get that pale ale, brother.
Yeah.
Wait, and then what? And the little girl just ran away.
I was. I never forget it. I was there like looking in the corner like a ghost, like I saw a ghost.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What's wrong?
And
What's
then,
wrong? Are
and
you
then
okay?"
everything disappeared.
And I was like, "Can you not hear that?"
She
Like
should do like this. She just went, "What's wrong, Frankie?"
Oh yeah.
She's like, can you come play fetch?
No,
No,
it's
no,
3
no.
in the morning, and she's just like,
Dude, she was screaming and pulling her hair, like screaming and pulling her hair, and it was like a 6-year-old, like a little girl.
Did
in
you
a
ever do
school
any
uniform.
research on the house? Like,
Nah, didn't want to know about it.
Nah,
But it wasn't the first time. It was the first time that it happened to me, and then there was another time that it happened, but it was
Yeah,
a boy
different
the
house?
second time. Same house.
Oh.
Same house,
that's all right,
daytime.
man.
So this is a
What?
long-term, this is a
Little boy.
long-term
Did
relationship.
you
I
go?
told you this.
Did you
No,
go
not
see
about
a
the little
doctor,
boy.
man, or something? Because
Nah.
that's fucked.
So hang on a
That
second.
shit
Whoa,
happened to
whoa,
me.
whoa.
No,
Re-
does
This is
it?
a
My mum's
long-term
a
relationship.
psychic, and that's
Okay.
kind of.
Wait, hang on a second. Let's rewind this.
Yeah, go back.
How was the girl? No, I mean, mate, how long did the little girl stay in the room for?
No, it was. I don't know. I don't even know how long.
That moment could have
but
been a lot shorter than it actually was, but you were
I
traumatized.
don't know. I don't know how long it was, but all I remember is the next day she was saying to me, "What was that about?" And I was like, I couldn't get back to sleep after.
Yeah,
Like, I was
you're rattled.
I was rattled.
We sweating and shit. You know, you get the hot flushes.
Nah, I was just like, I never forget it. I laid up in bed and just looked at the ceiling, like wigged out.
Try not to look at the girl in the corner of the room.
No,
You're
she-
like, okay, leave
No,
now.
but it was as if she just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
She just out of nowhere just gone.
Question: did you have like night traumas and stuff as a kid, like
No.
heaps? No.
Not much as a kid at all.
course. I've actually-
Obviously, Dom did. Did you?
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Fuck, really?
I did like heaps. So like from like, I reckon. So my parents always had the cot like when I was a baby.
Oh, fuck. You got
In the
way
room.
back.
Yeah,
Like
but it's
in the room.
normal
no.
for children
So I
at a
always had
young
it in the
age.
room. So
Yeah, hang
my
on,
parents
young.
always.
I don't remember what I did after, like, before for 7.
Yeah, but
Well, like, this is what they
obviously
tell
it
me
was
anyway.
connected
So
Fuck.
so like, my parents always had the cot for me to sleep in their room.
Yeah.
Okay. Then obviously I got older and I started sleeping in a bed. As soon as they put me in a bed,
So.
as soon as I was in my own room, done. Night traumas, like screaming in the middle of the night.
Fuck.
And I wasn't in control of my own body. Like I was
Ooh.
screaming and not knowing why I was crying.
Yeah.
You know those?
Fuck.
And then like my dad, because my dad like, wog fucking dad.
Yeah.
He comes in the room, beats the fuck out of me. I go to bed.
Fuck.
Bang.
Fucking hell.
And I would just be sitting there like crying.
Kids help my mind to take this down off of YouTube.
Nah, but you know what I mean. Like just
Yeah,
came in,
your dad put a hammer through your face. That's right.
he ruffled a couple of my feathers in there just
Yeah.
to get to bed, right?
Yeah, you're a pigeon. Yeah.
and then they realised that it's probably not a good idea to like try and like wake me up because I was like asleep. Like I was kind of asleep.
right.
But if they would like touch
Beat
me,
the
or, like,
fuck out of you.
yeah,
It was not Step Brothers.
or give me the belt, man.
It's not
Yeah.
I would like.
What is
it'd-
it? Sleep.
It'd be
Bro, did you
even
grow up in the
worse.
50s?
No, dude, no, hang on a sec. Was your bedroom a Yatlan?
Dude, I don't remember that part of my life, man.
H Division. Tom was growing up in H Division.
He woke up
God.
and the pillow was on his head.
Then he realised that when he was about 12, it said cell number 278.
Yeah, and I realised I was
Oh,
in a
yeah.
prison
That's
my
what's
whole
tatted
life.
on his ankle.
And then I realised I was in a mental institution my whole
Nah,
life.
nah.
No, I know what you
Anyway,
mean.
what I'm saying
What is this
is
podcast?
I don't
Yeah.
know where this is going.
I know, keep going.
Ah, serious. So like, yeah, I was having those night traumas, and like my parents would like wake me up, and like it'd get worse.
Wow.
And this
Fuck,
one
man.
night,
You're really opening up to this.
this one, yeah, I'm opening
It's
it up.
good, it's good. I like
And then this one night, I woke up, went to the letterbox, dude.
Asleep
I'm
or asleep?
I don't remember. My parents told me this.
Yeah.
Went to the letterbox,
They film me?
come back, like went into bed, and my mum just watched me the whole time I did it, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, right.
Should have the camcorder.
And then I was like maybe 6 or 7 then,
Wow.
and like she told me that story. But then when I was like 10, 11, I started having these dreams
So
where
it's like 2006, 2007.
yeah.
Yeah.
We finished high school.
Yeah, just
But and I was just
That's cool.
I was at my letterbox at 3 a.m.
That's
Yeah.
cookie me.
But yeah, so like as I got older, when I was maybe like in my teens, like 12, like 13, 14, I
So this
started
was
having
every night for
Yeah.
fucking...
I started having this dream. I got over the night terrors, like whatever. I started having this dream where I would go to the letterbox with my nonna, and she passed away when I was like 2 years old. And I started having this dream I'd go to the letterbox with my nonna.
Oh my god.
And I told my mum about it, and she's like, "What the fuck? Like when you were a kid, you went to the letterbox?" And
That's
I was
cool.
like, "Nah, I've been having this dream my whole life." Man.
Wow.
But like that is when I started like dreaming, like having
Yeah,
dreams. 'Cause I never
remembering them, yeah.
never really dreamed because I was always having these like night terrors, right? And now my dreams are so crystal clear. It's like I'm in a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, man.
Right.
Like I'm in freaking
Inception.
Inception. Like that's how clear my dreams are.
Fuck.
And if I dream like that, I'm tired and have a massive headache the next day. 'Cause
So
I'm
you
not
were awake
sleeping.
the whole time?
Yeah.
So when you say your dreams are crystal clear,
Like this. Like I could be dreaming and it would be
so you
like
lucid
this.
dream.
Yeah.
That's what it's called,
Yeah, yeah,
lucid
yeah,
dream. So
yeah.
you know you're in the dream,
Yeah, I know.
and you can
So-
like touch and.
So like as the years have gone by, I've like been able to like tell when I'm in the dream, right? So like
Fuck.
I will like sit, like, something will be
Tripping out.
happening, and then I could feel my body in my bed,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming, sweet, and I just do cook shit.
What?
Like I've been flying
video
and
game.
shit. Yeah, like I've been flying and stuff. Now I know how to fly killer because I do it like nearly every night.
Are you serious?
It's not good to do because I get a headache, right?
So hang on a sec. So
Wait,
you
wait,
do this
wait.
every night.
I've been wanting to drop this on you guys for like this whole pod. But yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
did you, bro,
Serious,
he's
swear to
getting,
God.
dude, he's getting better each day in his dreams.
So
This is
you-
tripping me
Because
out.
now I've been doing it like for ages. Like I can control my dreams. The only things I can't control is who comes in my dream.
Yeah.
Like what the other person
This is
like
fucking
says
amazing.
to me. But I can control like the environment I'm in, like what I
If
can
we
do.
get like a professional sleepologist in, would you be
Yeah, fuck.
open to come on and talk about this? No, I'm
Yeah.
fucking dead serious
Yeah.
because this is super interesting.
I'll do it, man. I swear. Like it's yeah. I only just like I started talking about it to my missus, and she was like, "That's cool."
It's like a
Because
video
we
game.
watched Inception, and I was like, "Yeah, that's how I dream." And she's like,
Okay.
"What?"
So do you
Michaela Stella.
do you
Sleep
do
on
this?
Yeah.
Do you-
Doctor.
do you
Full doctor.
do you do this every night?
Nah, I try not to. So I
So
can,
you can.
So I know when I can dream and not dream.
Okay.
And like, because when I dream like that, it's like I get a headache. Like it's a bit.
But that's like
sick.
the high. That's like
Yeah.
the higher creation.
So
phase.
the other night, or a couple weeks ago, we watched Inception, and like you know how they go into dreams and whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to try that, right? This is cooked. So I've been trying to do it the last couple of nights, okay? And like one night I was in my dream and I was in my house, right? And I've always had this dream when I'm in my house, and that's when I go and fly because I just go in my backyard and start flying, right? I always do that dream. This is like my go-to. I don't know. And so this one time I went into my bed and was like, fuck it, let me try and like just sleep. I'll shut my eyes, right? And I like was in my bed. I felt like closed my eyes, and it was like I was struggling like to do it because like it's a dream, right?
Yeah.
And then something happened, and I think I fell into another dream. But the second layer of the dream was like me running, and it was so blurry, and it was just like me running into like nothing, and it was just all this blur. And then I like woke up from that dream and woke up in real life, and I was like, nah, biggest migraine of my life. I'm never doing that
What
again.
the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I'm tripping out.
Yeah.
And I'm very visual to it, so I'm picturing
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. When you were saying that, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
there.
I was
with you.
picturing like a fucking like Kid Cudi film.
Do you guys ever watch The Goonies?
Yeah, I did.
The other night I was flying with Peter Pan, and we went to where the Goonies like the ship
Like
is.
all that
The
shit.
ship.
Has
And then I
any,
woke up. I just do cook shit like that.
have any of your dreams that you've dreamt come into
Come
real
real.
life? You knew I was going to say that. Is this like a dream right now?
I know.
No, not really. But I try and visualize things so that they happen.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good skill to have.
But
man.
Visual domain. Remember the name, brother.
that's it. But nah, yeah, that's just my cooked dream story. That's what I was saying to you because you were like, "Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night like that?" But I can wake myself up out of dreams. And like,
Yeah.
We
I'm
had
very in control of it. It's crazy.
we had like a family. You reminded me. We had like a family trip with like my mum's best friend and her family, and like we're really close growing up. And we went to Victor Harbour like caravan park, and we were going like a bit of fishing. It was like something different, you know, like change up your lifestyle, like you know, bring the fish back, scale it, like pretty cool, you know. And we were only little, and our family friend, she's about my sister's age, so she would have been fucking like maybe 7 or 8 now. And I was maybe like 10 or 11. And our caravan parks weren't next to each other. They were probably 200, 300 meters, bit more. And there was a fucking caravan park every meter. So like, and there's a lot of like different, unusual people around there, like people that are living there and a little bit rough and stuff like. And you know, you don't trust it, like you know, you don't know these guys, right? Dude, my mum is a super light sleeper and stays up really late as well. My mum doesn't need a lot of sleep. She'll function like she'll get about like 2 a.m. Like she just like.
Is that like every mum then? 'Cause
Yeah,
they're just
I know.
prone to it when they
Yeah.
have a kid.
It's
They're like they can stay up late.
Yeah.
nights.
Or they just wake up like that. They're like, "Is that you coming in through the door?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, it's 3 a.m. What the hell are you
My mum
doing?"
was sending
And
me
then
messages
bang
like,
on.
"Did you just get home now?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" How
Yeah,
she know?
yeah,
their mums. The trigger comes
They
on,
just
dude.
know, yeah.
The trigger comes on, and dude, my mum hears on the door.
No.
Right? It's our family friend. She's 7. My mum freaked out.
From the other caravan park.
Dude, from the other, it was freezing out at Victor
No
in the
shoes
winter,
on?
like camp,
Like,
bro, like no shoes, like a 90.
what?
And mum's like, dude, she was asleep, completely asleep. She walked nearly 300 meters,
What?
and out of all the caravan rooms,
yours.
she knocked on ours.
But did she know? Like,
Dude,
had she hung out there during the
Dude,
day?
my
or
mum
something?
goes, "Oh my god, Bella!" We all go wog style. "Oh my god, Bella, what are you doing here?" She was out. She was like, you know those kind of things. Like, "Hey, you gotta
Wow.
put the jar of pickles on the wall," like shit like that. My mum just like rang her friend and goes, "Look, just let her sleep here." Like, dude, it was the most buzzed out thing. I woke up in the morning, like, why is, I won't say names, like, why is she here? She's like, oh, fucking buzzed out story, like told us after. I was like, man, like we were talking about it after, like that's. But you know how fucking full on that is, that she didn't knock on the wrong door either,
Yeah.
like or what could happen, like. It's almost like because we were young kids. Once the parents show you where you're both staying, you're running to each other's place all fucking
So
day.
no, that's what I was gonna ask. So she knew where your caravan park was.
Yeah.
And she had hung out there like that day, like. you
Like we
know,
were little, man. Like we were
Yeah.
both in primary
So
school.
that's
So
that's another thing. When I subconsciously think of something, I usually dream about that, right?
but do you ever
so
wake
she
up?
would have subconsciously been like, "Let me go hang out with like my friends tomorrow, whatever. Went to sleep. Her dream is the daytime when she's gonna hang out with you, but her body goes and does that. Activity.
Yeah, but have you ever done that physically though? Obviously not fly, but like if you've walked, well, you did it with a letterbox.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but have you ever woken up in the backyard on the grass and you did that?
Nah. But maybe I have done something. Like maybe I've done something that I don't even know. Like walk around my house and then go back to bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some things you wouldn't even know. Like my mum probably like, oh, he's going to the toilet, but I'm sleepwalking.
There's definitely something connected.
But your subconscious is a massive part of your dreams. So if you subconsciously think about something, like more often than not, that's what you're gonna dream about, or that's what's gonna happen in your dream. Like when you have guilt, like heaps of guilt, and like you know you've done something wrong, but you don't say it to anyone, and then you have cooked dreams of your teeth falling out and shit like that.
Of course, they're always
Messages
messages from your subconscious to understand.
Yeah.
Well,
and for so long I thought these dreams were normal.
my cousin Dion watched the Friends episode where what's her name? Phoebe had a baby. He had a dream that he was giving birth. I swear, recently. He goes, but how weird is this? He goes, the episode before bed was she was pregnant.
Well,
Yeah,
fuck, that's a quick.
Do you know what's a funny story, Mel? Actually, now that you said about the pregnancy thing, so I did a workshop with Frank's mum, because Frank's mum's into she's like mind coaching and all that kind of stuff, like your conscious, subconscious, and there was a lady in there that I connected to really well, and I won't say her name, but I connected to her and we got along, and you know the Albanian lady, and we connected really well. Anyways, the workshop finished, and a couple of weeks later, I had a dream about her, that we were in this water, we were in water, and this child was in the water and I was in the water and I had to save the child. And I remember grabbing the child and I gave it to her.
It was a baby.
It was a baby, and I'm getting goosebumps, man, like full goosebumps on my back of my head. And I was cradling it, and we both watched it to make sure it was breathing, and it took a breath. 3-4 days later, I find out she's pregnant.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Weirdest thing, dude. Weirdest thing.
That reminds me of, Due Date, the film. I know it's a comedy film, but obviously these directors and these writers, man, they open their mind up to things, especially living in places like LA and shit. And Robert Downey Jr.'s got this ball breaker of a guy, Zach Galifianakis. But no one really picked up on this, but he kept having this dream of a bear. And then when he woke up after his accident or whatever to get back to his wife, the bear was there cradling the baby for him. So it was like, I'll get you home. It's going to be a rough ride because I'm a fucking bear. And, it's not going to be what you're used to, but I'm a big protective guy. I'm going to be there to protect your kid. And, like, I know it's a comedy, so no one really tapped into it, but I was like, fuck, man, that's a really cool message. Like, you never know what kind of experience, like, even Nick's experience, like, why was he with her, with a baby? Like, you wouldn't even think, what the fuck is that?
I asked his mum. I go, what is, because his mum's dreaming too. And I was like, what does that mean? And she goes, it might be new beginnings or whatever for you, or... But it's normally about me, like you said, it's subconsciously connecting to me, about me dreaming about the baby. But it was her distinctively, this lady distinctively, and I gave her the baby. I gave it to her in her hands. Yeah. And then 2-3 weeks later, I found out she's pregnant with a child. I saw her with a bum.
Is it your child?
No. Look, I didn't want to say it. But
He's I met this chick and then she's pregnant a week later. What?
Dude, next week, Nick's not here.
I won't be alive. That's my child.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. You were gonna say something about an hour and a half ago, Frank.
So good. Yeah, just went on a run about
just taking it all in.
Yeah, it's good.
I can tell.
It's good.
He just passed me a message, never bring me on again. That's all right.
You're a dickhead.
I would have just told you guys.
Yeah, true.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with that.
What were you gonna say?
What was I going to say?
Before you said something, you were gonna say something.
Can't remember.
Oh.
But
That was probably around dreaming.
I haven't told many people that.
But thanks, man. That's really fucking interesting. I've never heard of anything like.
Because
So,
I
you know what's
said it
funny?
to people, like when I say it to someone, they're like, nah, what, nah.
Well,
that
I've
doesn't
never
happen. And I always thought it was normal. When you dream real, like it's real. But like people are not.
All I've ever done is like throw punches that have been that bad.
It's like
Have you ever
underwater.
had that in dreams?
It's like you're underwater.
You're throwing
right?
the punches and you're
It's like you're underwater, right?
yo.
Yeah, you want to hit something,
Yeah,
but
it's
you
like-
cannot do it.
Yeah,
for the
it's
life
like Leo in Wolf of Wall Street, like.
Oh.
driving the Ferrari.
That's it, yeah. He's like
yeah.
trying to save what's his Jonah Hill.
That's
how
how-
my dreams
yeah,
are. I'm
yeah,
useless. Help
yeah.
me. Teach me.
I'll teach you, man.
Dude, I had a
So
dream.
you're like that. You're like.
So,
it's a
so
thing.
when I first,
It's
so
a
when I
thing,
first ever started dreaming, like
Never heard of this.
I was
ever,
so
dude.
scared. I was
Ever.
so scared to fly and shit. Like you fly, it's like, oh, this is weird.
But haven't you
and
had
then
that
I'm like,
moment?
I've never been able to fully, completely go
I can
hey,
do whatever I
I'm
want.
going to do this now. I've been
Yeah,
like,
I have.
save this person, fuck, and I'm throwing the
I'm-
bones.
I've had dreams like that, but not regularly.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
like
dude,
I'm
dude,
at a
dude,
point
dude.
now.
I'm at a
Dude,
point
this
now
guy's
where
at
I
the
can
point
be-
where he's at like stage
Yeah, yeah.
55.
Yeah.
He's treating it like COD.
I'm at a point like tonight. I want to dream about being on a podcast. Like I want to dream like tonight. I want to dream about this, right? But I can't make you guys be there with me. That's the only
Right.
thing. I can do locations, but if someone comes into my dream, there's a reason why they're there.
I'll
like,
ring you at 9 a.m.
yeah.
Dude,
See
you
what
know
I
the
dream?
thing is, I've had lucid dreams where I've known I'm in a dream heaps of times, heaps of times. I know I'm there.
Yeah.
I actually once was so scared of my dream, I created a way to kill myself to get out, to open my eyes because I
That's
couldn't
what you
open
don't
them.
do.
You know what? You know.
Have you done that before?
You know.
I created a train.
Yeah. You know
to
how
jump
people
in
Oh
front
my
of
say.
it.
god, that's Inception.
Yeah, I created. No, but this is way before Inception. This was like 13.
You know how
12, 13.
people say it's actually interesting. I did a lot of research on Inception because it freaked me out when I watched it because I was like, "This is my life."
Clearly, those people who wrote
And
that have
so
had this. Yeah.
no, so the writers for Inception did so much research into people's dreaming. That's why there's so many like little things in that movie that you watch and you're like, oh, I've dreamt about that before
Yeah.
because they did so much
Even the
research
back of the
about.
heads of the kids, you never see their faces.
Because
I've had
you
that
always
before.
have that dream when
I have had that before.
you think about someone but you can't see their face
Yeah.
and you know it's them there.
The best thing about dreams is, and we've all had this, you see a person but you've never seen the guy or girl before, but you know you can never create a face that you've never seen before.
Yeah,
You dropped
so-
that before. It's
Have
very
I?
interesting.
Yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
cool. That
So
You
it's
can
it's
never-
someone, yeah, it's
you can-
someone
so it's someone
you've
you-
seen,
yeah.
something, yeah. That's actually crazy. I didn't actually think about that because I always have randos.
Random
And I'm
dudes
like,
and girls.
why
Yeah, who are you?
here?
Who are you?
Who are you?
You lost
Well,
it.
it's based on the perception you made when you saw that person's face.
Yeah.
So you have to look at like every time you walk down the street, every time you meet somebody, every time you interact with something, what are the thoughts you have in the moment that you interact with that person? Because it's how you define moments.
Yeah.
You put someone in that box or that box. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if you put somebody in a good place in your mind, they're going to show up good for you. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's subconsciously you're going to recreate those moments.
I think it's. I don't know. With great power comes great responsibility, and I think it's. I think
Well
it's a
done, Peter
scary
Parker.
thing. I think it's a scary
And you
thing to
carry a
have.
camera everywhere.
I think it's a scary thing to have. Like, but I think it's cool because I can create like these weird situations that if they ever happen in real life, like, I know what I'm about to
You're
do.
chilled. You can fly and that.
Like, I don't know. A lot of people say it's because of like I'm always doing something creatively.
That's
So
cool.
my mind is always working. It's always ready to think of something, and that's why I come up with whacked ideas.
What are the things that you think about the most?
I've had these
know.
lucid dreams.
Like if you could replay days
Yeah.
and
Like
the
what I
things that
think about
constantly
that come
up.
into my mind.
Yeah, negative or positive. What are the things that come up constantly?
That is a great question. I would never
Not aware of what you
never
think about.
thought about what I
Yeah.
think about. Hey.
Being present with what you think about is so important. Like if you could write down every day, like if you took one day of your life, right?
So right, what I thought.
Write
about
negative and positive.
Yeah.
So every time you had a negative thought, write it down. Every time you had a positive thought, wrote it down, and then looked at it the next day, you'd probably laugh at yourself
Yeah.
because all the negative.
I think
shit
it's
that you
funny
say-
because when I think of something negative, I try and think of 3 positive things.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Good
cool.
mentality.
Because it's like, why, like even at a time like this, why are you thinking negative for? When there's probably so many positives.
100%.
You know? It's like, oh, I got my shoes dirty this morning. You know, like my fresh Yeezys dirty.
Yeah.
But hold on a second, I got a roof over my head. I can go get these cleaned. I'm getting paid today. You know, like it's just shit like
that's
that. It's
right.
like,
That's right.
why have
We
a
get
negative?
caught up.
Why have one negative thing in your day that's gonna ruin your entire day?
Yeah, I hate the one where the sun's not out. People get emotional.
Oh,
Shut
when
up,
people
dude.
are like, "How's the weather today?
Yeah.
Raining."
That's a
Ants?
That's a go-to on Tinder as well.
What?
Hey,
You
hey. Speaking of that,
You know what you should say?
has anyone ever seen Nick on Tinder as Joe? And he had the description, "My name's not Joe Lol." Did you know that?
I made a mistake, man. I connected.
Explain.
Wait, that's why
My
it's so
name's
simple.
not Joe.
Oh, you don't know this story.
How did we get to Tinder from lucid dreaming?
That was cool.
What happened was, man, I started the Facebook page called Joe Gauchi. Hope Joe Gauchi's not listening. Or
Oh, you did a Joe from Friends when he has to come up with an actor name?
Yeah. Well, I did Joe Gauchi, and then I connect my Facebook to Tinder. I didn't want people to know I was Joe. Then I rolled with Joe. Then I didn't want to roll with Joe.
So his name was
Sure,
Joe
that's
Gauchi,
well.
and then underneath it had my name's not Joe.
Why didn't you write? Oh, my name's
That's
actually
cool.
Nick, but and then
was
just
afraid.
write your whole
Just
story.
write the story. People would talk to you.
I was afraid.
Yeah.
No, mate. I'm scared every moment, man. I don't know what's
Three
going on.
positives, man.
Yeah, three positives.
Yeah, your name's not Joe. One.
You're not a serial killer.
Two.
My dad's name.
I'm not from you. Three.
Did you have a baseball cap on in the fucking photo?
I did. I New York Yankees. That's why no one touched me, man.
No,
And he's in
way.
New York too.
I was in New York.
No,
Yeah,
you didn't.
Killed my last friend from social media. I wrote, no, I didn't.
Oh, you went, I own a library?
Oh no,
Oh.
no. Frank owns a state library cafe.
Dude.
It's a
All you
cafe,
need,
dude. In
dude.
a fucking library.
dude. All you needed was someone who swiped right, then walked into the cafe, and you were there like that, making a coffee, going, "Hey, Nick, I like this guy's."
Wasn't
fine."
that one of
Yeah,
the
he looks
stories in the
like a
podcast
kid.
that
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
working at a cafe?
Well, dude, this is what I'm saying. Now I'm going on this show Saturday, Love in Lockdown, the
Can
dating
you talk
show.
about it?
Yeah, I spoke about it on the last pod a little
He's
bit.
throwing it out there.
Yeah, but because they're going to promote it, so I'm going in as Joe Gauchi. No, I'm joking.
And then at the end of the show, you go, that's not my room now.
That's not my rule. No, I'm wearing a baseball cap like that with a little knife.
You take it off.
Nah, but what do I? Oh, this is what I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys in the podcast. What do I bring to the table, literally on the Zoom call? What should I bring?
A bit of prosciutto.
Yeah, be you, dude. Be Joe
Just be
Gauchi.
you.
Bring an Argentinian steak.
No, 'cause-
All you're gonna do is, hey champ.
Yeah.
You get on.
No, do I bring a glass of wine? Do I bring a glass of Coke?
'cause she can
do I
drink
bring,
it through
do
the
I bring a
screen.
cigar?
She can
Cigar?
drink it.
Do I bring a cigar?
Where are you
Do I-
going to do it?
Do I wear something
I
nice?
tell you one thing you should
No,
do.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
do it in
what-
the study.
Dude,
I'll
just
tell you
get a
one thing
dried
you
out
should do.
cured
Nah,
sausage.
One thing you definitely should do is not wear that jumper.
Okay, what do I wear then, man? What should I wear? See, I'm asking you guys as friends. You guys are ripping me, man.
No,
I'm
not a
sick and
suit.
tired of it.
You should take your shirt off and just come.
Oh,
in
yes.
Listen. What you got to do is watch Crazy Stupid Love. Don't wear a suit and tie. Too dressy.
yeah.
Wear a white
Just
shirt
be
open
you,
with
bro.
a casual blazer.
And you know what you should do? You should walk up to the camera. Wait, you should walk up to the camera and be like, "Hey, you might remember me from such shows as you missed everything you've been on."
Oh no, I don't know. Yeah, so
Or
I'm
spin
thinking.
around in a wheelie chair and be like, "Hey,
Just put an
girl."
Oscar next to the. Put a little Oscar next to the camera. And be like, hey there.
What happens if the girl they put me with's like I'm just not into it? It's an hour. You got to date her for an hour. What if I'm not into
Just say it. Say, "Hey,
Just
girl,
go like,
I'm not
"Hey."
into this one."
You are breaking.
Just turn off the laptop.
It's good.
Maybe you saw me halfway through the Zoom thing. I just pick up the laptop and throw it against the wall. I would do something like that.
No,
You know what you do? You just text your mum while you're looking at the camera. And go, hey, you a Just go, mum. Turn off the modem.
Oh, you turn the
Oh
power
yeah,
off
turn the
house.
power off outside. Shut down the whole stream.
No, just turn off the fucking modem, bro.
Nah, but I'm scared. What if it's an absolute weapon? You know, she's gorgeous. I'm there like,
Now, I was
Yeah,
going to say to you,
right.
write some questions,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, write
I
some.
think I'd write like a stand-up
No,
comedy.
write some
She's like,
one-liners.
my name
Do
is
you
Tatiana.
want to date her or you want to make her laugh?
Write some one-liners.
She's like, my name is Tatiana from Russia and I'd love to come over there.
You should say.
Oh,
just be like,
yeah.
just be like, fuck. Be like, have you ever listened to my podcast?
Yeah, she's like, what?
Yeah.
Nah, I'll think of something.
Have some one.
Just tell you get Paula to make her a dress.
Oh, yeah,
Do you have to pretend like you're having dinner at the same time? as
Well, she said no. Bring a snack. She brings a snack. I bring a snack.
Snack, you're not eating together.
No, we have
What
like
snack
a
are you
wine.
bringing? What's
No,
snack
well,
you bring?
I don't know what to bring. I don't know. Should I bring like a bit of chocolate?
Bring TV snacks. Show her how like.
I was thinking about bringing
Traditional
something
yards.
really Australian because
Tin
the
Tan,
girl's
Vegemite.
gonna
Remington.
the girl's gonna be from somewhere around the world.
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
Yeah, just like
Oh,
you
yeah,
toast
so
and
I'll bring a
jar.
plug for Australia.
Yeah, start
I'll bring
eating.
Ernie Dingo as well next to me.
Bring a wobble board in it.
Bro, you're trying to pick her up, not make her vomit. Just bring out a Lamington.
Bring out a
Fucking
can.
Vegemite.
Bring out a can of tuna. Bring out a can of tuna and just be like trying to get my protein in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a real bro. He's like, yeah, have you had your protein, love? Like, shit like that.
Yeah, we got some weird. You guys haven't dated much lately. That's why. Have you noticed that? You guys are, you're married. You've been with the missus for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Frank, I'll take your advice because you went to Cooper's house with a girl.
Yeah, not gonna say I dated over the internet, man.
Yeah, true.
Fuck
I'm
me.
starting a new
Yeah,
one.
I did.
I actually did this.
Oh,
Did you?
That's how Daniela and I met.
What, on a Zoom call?
Instagram.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, okay. I thought it was adult friend finder.
Oh, plenty of fish. Where'd you meet your mate? Did you glitched or something? I don't know what happened there.
He's like, hang on, guys, I'm flying.
Dude, you were like looking through straight through me, dude.
He's
Frank's little girl was in the corner of the room again.
He said something cooked, and I was just like, "Why did he say that?"
Dom's
for?"
like, I'm in level.
Poppins here and they started fucking going to the ceiling.
Dom's like, hang on, guys, I'm back in the
Fucking
matrix. I'm
play
in level
that
40.
back, play that back, and zoom into my face because I was
dude.
out of it this end.
Dude, you were gone. You glitched.
Yeah,
I thought you were on my Zoom call. You know when the freezes.
it's buffering, dude.
Oh.
Now, what was
Bro,
the question? Go back.
you know, all he sees is the green writing, from the Matrix.
No,
No, have you guys internet dated?
Yeah, I used to be on Tinder full on.
Yeah,
But, like,
you look
not-
like
not
that. You got that face for Tinder.
Not today,
He does,
sir.
He does.
Tinder
What
was
do you mean?
I
I
don't
say like
think
you pick up
Nah,
girls.
no, that's disrespectful.
I say pick up. You get a lot. You get a lot.
I don't think Tinder is
Let's turn it
for
up.
dating at all.
Hang on a second. No, it's not.
Tinder's for like a
Sex.
one night
For like a
stand.
hookup, yeah.
What's Bumble? What's
If
Bumble?
you're
Same
in a
thing.
relationship from Tinder, right? There was always one person in that relationship that just wanted to fuck.
But there's people that got married from Tinder.
Yeah.
The fuck was good, brother.
I don't
Must
think,
the fuck was good.
I honestly don't think that they are.
No. I agree with you. I think they went out there searching for just sex,
And then they
right?
found it.
And then,
okay,
for
yeah.
whatever reason,
Things
it was
happen like that.
it happened. And I'm not saying that's a high percentage chance, right? It's not a high percentage chance at all. But
That's why I'm buzzing out.
This is a real matter of fact.
Yeah, it's true though.
Yeah,
I
Charlie.
know what you mean.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
but guys, hang on.
It's cut,
Cut
out.
out.
20 minutes.
when
of
did it cut out?
Nah, just then.
Oh.
I saw the red light go. Hang on. Sorry, guys.
We'll go back
Did,
to
did
this.
Samantha cut
You
out?
guys talk about internet dating a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll just tell my missus I wasn't on this podcast so she doesn't listen to
I
it.
bet-
Because I got some fuck stories.
Yeah?
Now maybe I'll tell you later, not on the podcast.
Tell us one, but mute. Say it to your friend.
Back and zoom into my face because I was out of it this end. I was. No,
You too, Frank. Tell us about it.
Hang on.
I don't
You
know.
know,
Tinder.
Guys, hang on. Was it all
Now,
the
what
way
was
to?
the question?
all he
sees
Yeah, just keep going.
I knew I was out of it.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I was like, he's not going to pick up on it. Just give me a minute, I'll get back. And then you said, I was
No,
like,
you were gone.
You go. Tell about like people sliding into your DMs and stuff.
what's wrong with you?
It's good. People want to know these things.
People DM me all the time, man.
Girls.
I don't get that.
Bro, it's recorded.
Yeah, you got 7,000 followers. That's why.
Yeah, but.
Guys, hang on.
Nah, but it's not
Yeah.
record this.
Yeah, I'm not recording.
Don't record that.
So how long have you been cheating on your missus?
Yeah,
I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, he was
What
sliding in my
missus, man? I
DMs.
don't have missus for the viewers. I'm Joe with the hat.
How long have we been gone for, by the way?
Good. I love it.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
good.
my goal.
I love this.
This is my goal.
We have some
This is
good
my goal.
combos.
This is my goal, Frank. I'm sick of us. I'm sick of us having structured shit. I want
I'm
to have fun.
pissing it at you two talking though, because the mic's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
why.
then Steph gets a thought and he's like, Joe.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Have you internet dated or not?
Have I? Yeah, I have. I used to be big on Tinder back in the day.
What about you, Frank?
Not Tinder.
What did you do, dude? Oh, here we go. Suave.
No, it wasn't Tinder. I just
Grinder.
Tinder came.
Oh,
Tinder became big when I started
What the fuck's
dating
wrong?
when I started dating Daniela. So it was a thing for me that I wasn't interested in really.
Yeah, it was.
I thought you were single.
Long story.
Ah,
I am.
Cut a shot to start along.
Technically, I am single.
fair enough.
Don't worry. Put your mobile number in the description.
Oh yeah.
No, but it
Tinder is Tinder was just I'm just a 18-year-old kid on Tinder, man. I just wanted to find some chicks for the weekend. You know what I mean? Like it was never anything. I never wanted a
What are they,
relationship.
crazy bones?
I never wanted a relationship ever.
You know, but you know what's a funny thing, man? For men, women are a big driver. Just men in general. They drive us a lot. Think about how much effort you go into searching for a woman when you are single. And how much energy and focus you put into it.
Yeah.
Think about that
Yeah.
as a man. It's
Depends,
like a,
but some guys don't do that.
yeah,
Some
true.
guys literally go out just to get sex.
Yeah,
End up finding someone they want to be with.
true. But I'm
That
saying,
happened to me and my
but
missus.
if you
No- no
if you
bullshit.
wrote down every day your focus on women or looking at women or being in front of women, it'd be a lot, man.
Yeah, I think people, you materialize or you want something that is something that's missing for you, right?
Yeah,
You picture something that you miss so much. And when you miss that thing, you try and drag yourself closer to it. But what actually happens is you put yourself further away.
but I'm talking about like a social anatomy. Like, are we built to look for women?
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah,
part of
primal.
our?
It's primal.
Yeah, primal. Correct.
Going deep,
Of course,
going
buddy. You
deep
got
again.
testosterone, brother.
Yeah.
Going deep again. Like I used to be on Tinder and like surround myself with women all the time because like you try and feel like some sort of void,
Yeah, correct.
That you
I've
don't
done
know.
that too, man.
Yeah.
100%.
and then you realize like
Where do you think that void comes from?
I don't know,
Fuck.
you know, from my childhood getting beaten up.
No. Honestly,
Nah,
Was your dad Jeff Fennick?
dude, my dad's gonna listen to come home.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
He's your biggest fan.
Nah, let him go.
Is
let,
he?
Let us
No,
go. Let us go.
he's your biggest fan, but you're telling us how he smacked the fuck out of you
Yeah,
when
let
you're
him
trying
go.
to dream.
Let him go. I still see the belt mark on his left cheek. Let him go.
I went to pat him on the back. He beat the fuck out of me.
And he's sitting on a tyre at the moment.
Oh.
No.
No, what do you mean? The Frank goes, how do you feel the void? Sorry, bring it back.
So what? No,
Oprah, I mean-
where did the?
where do you think? Like, where do you think that comes from? Where do you think that? Like, what do you think that is that void you're trying to fill?
I think like when I was younger in school, I was never confident or anything, and I was always very like, just to myself, small group of friends. There was like a big group that I could never really like be fully a part of because I
See
was
where that comes from?
Yeah.
Where
So
the
good.
3 things you missed at 10?
Yeah, I can connect to some of them. That's when he was
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, you can connect to that stuff.
Yeah, but that's like that was I guess maybe that's where it came from. Like yeah.
But it keeps like it depends. So like you got layers of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And relationships, like friends, girls, all those things. Image. Image can be a really big thing. For me, image was a big thing. I used to be overweight, right?
Yeah.
I used to be obese. I used to be picked on and teased at school.
That's for me. That's a big thing for me too. 'Cause
Me
I was
Two
very
dudes.
I was very over. Like no, I was chubby, and everyone's like, hey,
It's a wog chubby,
it's
right?
just your wog chubby.
You know what parents used to say?
Kid fat.
It's
You
just
get
baby
over
fat.
it. You
Yeah,
grow,
I was
you
over
grow,
that.
man. You grow.
Do you still
I grow.
look
I'm
at,
20 years old. Still got the biggest puns ever.
Do you
But
still
I gotta
look-
work-
do-
I gotta
do you
work
still-
on that. You know.
do you still look at yourself with those insecurities?
No, not anymore.
Okay, that's good.
I never took my t-shirt off for a girl ever until my missus.
Yeah, well, I
How old
was
were
like that too.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I used to go to
18.
18.
Dude, I used to go to the beach with a top on in the water. I was the only
Yeah.
guy out of like
Yeah.
30 of my mates, all ripped soccer
Only as of
players.
recently I've been taking my t-shirt off at the beach and stuff because now I don't care. I've got a girl that
So
loves
what
me for
changed
everything.
it though?
That's
No,
awesome.
but what changed it? So like, where did you
Love,
go from?
love.
Where did you go from? No, but this is the perception.
I
His
think that
perception
it was
changed.
always. I think it was always I had to look a certain way for everyone else. But then when I realized that I got a girl that likes me, like loves me
Gratitude.
for me, then I don't care if some other chick is seeing me at the beach, like how
Yeah,
I am.
because that girl.
Because I don't care about that girl. I care about the girl that actually
Because
cares
your
about me,
girl
you know?
gave you the confidence to value you.
Yeah, right.
It's got nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
But she just stood up as the image of your own self.
yeah.
And it actually reflected onto you going, fuck, I am valuable enough for someone else.
Yeah,
And that's actually valuable enough for me.
yeah.
And you stood up and took your fucking top off. You're like, fuck,
you know, I had
That's
that-
awesome. She
Whoa.
likes me for me.
It's
Well,
true, man.
No, but that's true. I never actually thought about it like that. And I always thought, I keep my t-shirt on because I'm insecure about
because
me.
you're worried about what someone else
And
says
then I'm
about
worried about
you,
what someone
though.
else is going to say about me. I don't actually care about what my body looks
I
like.
was exactly the same.
Exactly. It only
That's-
matters what you
That's a
say.
big thing. And then I found as soon as I stopped giving a fuck about what other people thought is when I started succeeding. Because like, I used to always do like business type of stuff as a kid, right? And I started my own like
Heroin dealing. That's not thinking of going to like
in year
ecstasy
7.
pill
Nah,
press.
in year
I owned a
7.
Chinese restaurant.
Dude, I was
Unguja.
12. In year 7, 12 years old. I
Stealing
was trying
cameras,
to
selling
be.
them off on the black
Oh,
market.
I'm not that wild, man.
No, go.
In year 7, 12 years old, I was trying to be like Martin Garrix. I was a DJ.
Yeah,
Oh, I
cool.
think so, Mark.
Bought all my equipment and like was like full on about it. Like made a page called DJ Blitz, and was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And as soon as I go to school, because I would do it on the weekend, you know, like bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
As soon as I go to school, everyone's like, oh, DJ Blitz. That's where it started for me. I'm like, fuck, everyone's making fun of me. I'm not gonna be anything. Fuck it. Change my name
Been
again.
there,
Like,
bro.
But you
DJ
see how-
Scopes. Let me do one of my friends' parties, and then they're all paying me out. I'm like, I'm DJing a party for free, bro. Why is everyone paying me out?
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me.
Yeah,
People
but
wanna
that's
bring
And I
how
was
you
always
see it then,
scared.
though.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing,
I
You don't
know.
realise when you're that age. You don't
Yeah,
realise
and I realize now
that.
everyone's
Correct.
jealous that
Correct.
the people that do that. Yeah.
And you, Nick, don't touch the interface.
Don't play with the interface.
I'll just
man.
plug it in.
Just look at it. Just please. Just
this
leave it
recording?
to me,
Didn't
bro.
he say he wanted to edit the
Lick.
fucking last video?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen
Oi.
an interface in my life.
Yeah,
First
oi.
time.
Oh, he wanted to edit the
It's
last
been there for the
podcast.
last 4
We
podcasts.
sounded like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Anyway, Dom. Oi, guys, I'll give you a little story about how Dom actually inspired me.
Me,
Yeah, you did.
another
So-
Dom.
You.
Me,
Yeah. So I was
tell me. Man.
I was
know
making
this-
I was making music under the rap name Rossi, and I was struggling. I felt like I was quite narcissistic as well. I felt a lot of
This is when you first started.
when I first started, a lot of the negative stuff around me. I was getting few people in Adelaide like cyberbullying me and shit. And,
Yeah, you get that.
And I was getting grilled and stuff, and I was like, fuck, man. And then I'd like go to parties and that and just be myself, and people be like, oh, you know, you're doing black music. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you should be in a rock band. Like you know, Italians aren't meant to rap, and I took a lot of that on, man. I believed a lot of that. I didn't truly back myself. Like now, that same comment comes, I don't even fucking know what happened. Like it's just like, wow.
So,
And anyway, and I'm sitting at my fucking on my phone, I reckon, and I get this inbox from this kid. Hey man, I like your stuff. I want to do some of your stuff for free.
That kid was me.
That was you. And he goes, man, like, what do you need for your page? I saw your page. I think I can really improve it. I want to do your cover photo and I want to do your logo. I was
Did you
like,
listen to Gary V when you were a young kid?
No,
this was early, Frank. This was
Gary
probably,
V shit.
this is probably before Gary V, man. I reckon you were maybe 14, 15.
The funny thing is, I never really looked at anything like that. Like, I never had a motivator, or like never watched a thing or podcast or nothing. I just watched YouTube, like, and I used to see these successful YouTubers, like photographers and stuff, and be like, I could do that.
I can do that. Yeah, good.
And I was like, yeah, man, done. Like, fucking put someone else on, give it a crack. And you're under the name It's Dom Arts.
Yeah.
And that was cool though. Like, you were like fucking 15, right?
Yeah.
And
14, but yeah.
14, sorry, nah. And I was like, oh, fucking, like, you know, well done, man. Like that, and that's what I would do. I'd be like, hey, man, I'll feature on your track for free. Like, you know, I'll just feature on your track, or if you ever want someone.
I found you through Julian, right?
Divisio.
Yeah, and I messaged him, but never got a response. But then you came out of nowhere, and I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, well, and then the coolest part was when how many months later was it? He hits me up. He's like, bro, I got the Tiger show, and I was supporting Tiger. And it was like a huge thing for me, like big turnaround in my career and stuff, and like just an awesome moment, like biggest crowd ever. I went from literally performing in front of like 13 people to 3,000, shitting bricks. Yeah. And this kid pops up. He goes, hey man, thanks so much, bro. Like, if you do any I said, look, all the promos are being done by them. Like, they're just putting my name. They're just literally typing my name. Yeah. He's like, but that's the hustle, dude. Like, he did the free stuff, like, you know, to start. He was 14. Like, obviously for you, money wasn't a thing. Like, you were in school.
No, I didn't know.
Like, and he's just like, I want to, like, people up and coming. I want to come up with them, and it's funny because then when I got Tiger, he was the first guy to jump straight in and go, bro, how cool, well done, congratulations, this is awesome, and like, you know. And now we're still doing stuff together, so it's pretty cool.
I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, like
I didn't.
Like that's a hustler, man. Yeah. Like the kid's 14 years old, hitting up people to do free graphics. It kind of reminds me of Paulo Sebastian. He used to try and finish. I don't want to give too much away from the. Oh, it's already out. Yeah, it'll be already out when this is out. But he used to at lunch. He used to do his homework then. Yeah. So at 3 o'clock when he boosted straight home, he could work on dresses for formals.
And that's what
what you were doing, man.
I used to do my assignments and like schoolwork during the class while the teacher was teaching it. Smart. So that I'm like, oh yeah, boom, for my assignment. While all these kids are like, yeah, I'll do it the day before. I'm like, yeah. Go home, smashing out logos for like the randomest things. Like, I'd make up my own like business, like a fake business, make a logo, post it, be like, I just did this. Like, it was kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. It was like,
that's awesome.
It was like, look at this logo we did for.
You were playing the
You know what, Dom?
Yeah. But I never had any clients. There was nothing actually there. And then everyone was like to me, oh, you got like heaps of clients and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I do, man. Yeah, I do. And then I started actually getting clients and started actually getting work. And then I started getting busy. And I was like, I fucking love this. Like, this is what I've always wanted.
That's what I was telling you about when you pretend you're a model or you're an Instagrammer or a YouTuber. Play out like one of the things I heard is really act out what it is that you want to perform in. Yeah. So like you want to
visualize.
Visualize on your own, but then actually video yourself being in that Coke commercial if that's what you really want to be as a model or an actor, right? Visual, like, practice and just post them. Yeah. Post them because eventually the people that as you grow, as your following grows, or you do have a following, like this guy that I was listening to once, he had like 800,000 followers, right? Yeah. He wasn't hitting the target. Like, let's say he wanted to rep Proper 12, is that what it is?
Yes.
Proper 12 whiskey,
Conor
right?
McGregor.
Conor McGregor's whiskey. Yeah. And he wanted that brand, but he was never going to get in touch with them. Brands weren't coming to him. He'd do a commercial in his house with that brand.
Yeah.
To eventually he landed jobs with those brands because they
Smart.
saw his videos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what
I've
you
done
do.
it
for him for free.
I've done that
Didn't he?
too. I've done that too.
Yeah,
I've taken
and
We did it for free
Dude,
before.
that's what I do,
And
man.
love
I
the
set up my
idea.
studio at home in my room now. Lately, I've been doing this, and I run monologues.
Yeah.
I shoot monologues of scenes that I like audition scenes.
Yeah.
I shoot them in my room. There's
Yeah.
no script or anything,
Yeah.
but I know the scene that I'm in. I know the show that I'm in,
Yeah.
and I run it.
Yeah.
And I talk to I'll do flirting scenes. I'll do police scenes.
Mm.
I'll do all the scenes that I want. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I create that world in my room because I know it is. You know what I mean?
And that's what I did for so
That's
long
dope.
too. I would take photos of food. I was like, I want to get into food photography. What's my first thing I'm going to do?
Right.
Taking some photos of some food at home, posting it on the page being like, new restaurant, blah, blah, blah. Like something, you know? And then I got hit up by like a pizza place. They're like, can you come take some photos for us?
That's so good,
Done.
dude. I love
There's-
that.
I used to I never used to know how to price things, right?
Yeah, of course.
And like, I don't want to get taken advantage of and make something $50, and then they're like, "Oh, take 2007 photos, man. Thanks, $50. Here you go. Like it's nothing." And I started to like value my work and like my time.
You
like,
backed
yeah.
yourself, man.
But
I
it's
love
always, it was always just I want to get something done. Like I would see like a business that didn't really have much like good photos or anything. I just message them and be like, "Hey, spare $100. Let me take a couple of photos for your business." I did that for Brasco's. The photos I take for Brasco's, like the first ever photos I
that.
did,
They're awesome.
they were free. I just
Yeah.
did it because I needed some content from some business so that I could portfolio it
Yeah,
and
that's
show
right.
someone.
Mm.
And so I just did it for free, and now they call me like every week and like, let's shoot a new menu, let's shoot it, and now
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
fucking
paid.
dope,
For it.
man. I love that.
But yeah, it's just, the visualizing
You got-
things is massive as well.
Fucking
Huge.
oath. And you know the hip hop artist Russ,
Mm.
my cousin Dion,
Yeah.
your friend as well. He gave me the book and do like a lot of stuff that like Frank's actually coached me through, and Nick as well a lot as well, which is kind of passed on. Is fuck fake it till you make it, right? And
Yeah.
fuck everyone saying you need to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
The way Russ puts it,
Yeah.
believe it till you see it. And that's what you
Yeah.
did, man. You believed in what you had to do. You
Yeah.
believed in what you could do,
It's
and
the same-
everyone saw it.
It's the same as faking it till you make it, but I don't
Of
like
course,
to,
yeah,
I
that's
don't like
right.
to say
That's
that.
right.
Because you're not faking anything.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're
You're just
hustling
living
it.
it.
You're believing
You're
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
You're living it.
And there's a
until
shift.
it becomes into fruition, and you're like.
And
"Fuck,
there's a
that's it.
shift when
That's
you
how
do
it
that too. There's a shift through
Mm.
your whole body, your mental, everything. There's a
Mm.
shift. You know, it's big.
I think only as of recently, maybe the last year and a half, I'm in a place now where I pretended I was. You know what I mean? Like when I first started. I was like, yeah, I'm a big photographer. I can take photos of this, take photos of this. I can do music festivals. I can shoot an artist. And like now, I'm shooting an artist. I get emails from music festivals. Like I get people coming to me to like want to shoot stuff. Whereas back then, when I first started, I was chasing, but then when I would like post the photos or something, I would just pretend like I'm a big shot, like busy guy. And now like I'm that busy guy.
This is the thing that Bob Proctor was talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Bob Proctor. He's amazing with this stuff. He's like
Yeah.
84 years old, the guy's still fucking touring the world, telling
Right.
people about visualization and belief and all that stuff. And he was saying how it's easy to go in hindsight, right, and look
Mm.
back over 5 years ago and say, "Fuck yeah, I'm here." Like
Yeah.
it's I've made it, or
Yeah.
like made it to this moment where you wanted to be, right?
Yeah.
And be like, "Fuck, that's gone quick."
Yeah.
And then you go 50 years or 5 years ahead.
Mm.
You're like, "Fuck, that's gonna take forever."
Yeah.
It looks like the mountain's huge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when you get there,
You're
you're
that
like,
was
fuck,
nothing,
that's so
like-
quick.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did it go?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's always be present in the moment of where you are and like live that.
100%.
Live that moment and just be there because that journey is the biggest thing.
100%.
I was saying
I love the journey, man.
Oh,
the journey's
I
what
feel
makes
like-
everything though.
Because like I'm still in the journey now.
Mm.
you
And I feel like if
never
I
should
was-
leave it, dude. There's
Yeah,
no
and I don't
mountaintop.
ever
Nick taught me
want to.
that.
I don't ever want to get to the end because then I'm scared. Like when I'm at the end, what am I going to do now?
That's your off
But
button, bro.
don't be scared though because
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Kobe. When Kobe finished playing, right?
Mm.
He got injured. I was reading his book and doing the podcast.
The
that he
Achilles.
the Achilles injury was the moment that he goes, all right, stop for a minute. Because he thought, everyone was saying, what, you're going to fucking just retire now? Because his
Yeah.
Achilles fucked, right?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I stopped for a minute and I said to myself, imagine if I had to give it all up now.
Mm.
What would it be? What would I want to do?
Mm.
And he spent those 3 months asking himself deep questions.
Mm.
It never ends.
Yeah.
He said the after the game was even better.
Mm.
He said he was just getting started.
Mm.
it never ends.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't end.
It's true.
And
It
I
doesn't
think
matter
it's
how
very
high
true,
that mountain is.
100%.
Because you might get to the top of the mountain and realise there's a fucking other mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
It's just
Exactly
a
right.
continuous.
Well,
it's just-
it's like that scrolling.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah, it's
doesn't
infinity,
stop.
man.
It's infinity.
Dude,
And
and think about how many things you think it, like how many ideas and like how you evolve as a human and what you feel and what you put as an like what you emphasize on, what you don't anymore from the last couple of years, and where your mindset's changed. Like even me as an
What's
actor,
priority, what's not.
yeah, even me as an actor, as a priority, I've gotten more specific.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed certain things a lot more, and I've gone, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to be, and the journey's just gotten better and better and better. When I thought, fuck, when I was like looking back, I was like, fuck, this is fuck. Where do I go? But it's actually you're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
You're always on the train.
It's like Jay-Z, my fucking heroes on the wall. He retired in 04. No one knows that. No one knew he retired because you know why? He was back in a year.
Yeah.
He wanted to retire. He wanted to retire like Jordan, come back wearing the 4-5. But you know what, dude? He didn't even have to wait. He was back within a year. Like that's not even a retire. Like that's just a break in an album. And you know what, man? He's made some of his best music after that. 444. He talks about family. Probably the first time I actually can connect on a personal level.
Yeah.
I connected on a rap level and the vibe and the hustle. But his hustle was drugs. My hustle was not that.
Yeah.
My hustle was working for your family, providing for your family, being the person that they can lean on. Now he's talking about that. Guess how old he is? 40-4, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I connected with Jay-Z when he was 42. How fucked up is that?
It's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it happened.
It's amazing. And you know why? He had Blue at 41. His baby. So that his whole game changed.
Yeah.
Imagine if he retired in 04.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have talked about his kids.
Yeah.
How fucked is that?
Yeah.
His
I
biggest
don't think-
possession.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the end because I know that it's just going to keep going and there's going to be new challenges and new things. Like even with this whole coronavirus now, like I was in such a complacent time, right? And I'm like, everything's
We
perfect.
wouldn't have made the clip,
Everything,
by the way.
yeah, yeah.
If
And
we-
I'm
if we
like,
didn't have
everything's
Corona.
perfect.
Because he was always busy. We couldn't
Business.
link.
I was like, business is perfect. Everything's like, well, this is where I want it to be. Like, this is where I want it. And then
Needed the
Corona,
shaker.
and then Corona hit, and I'm like, fuck.
And you know
Now
what?
what? But then, like, I'm thankful, and I don't think I want it to have been any different.
And that
Because I would never make this documentary that I'm fucking
So true, and I bet you all of us.
sweat and tears into, and I can't wait like to show everyone. But I would never have done that. I would
We'll
have
get you
never
back
had.
on when it drops.
Yeah, I would have never had to like get creative again because I was in such a complacent thing. I'm like, yep,
you're
event
content.
this week, edit Sunday.
But
boom,
see, that's
this,
your
this,
subconscious,
you know?
right?
Yeah.
So your subconscious kicks in and goes, you don't actually want this content life.
I want to be
Because
creative. I want to do different
you don't
things.
ever
I wanna
want to be
change.
just Adelaide content, right?
Yeah,
You want to be
Correct.
bigger than that, and that
Correct.
shows through the shit that you want to do.
correct.
And hence why this happens to shake you up because you were getting too content. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
I
and
think a
that's,
lot of
and I'm
people are
happy
like
that this
that.
happened. And I even say like
In a positive way. like, we know
everything
that.
like, everything that ever happened to me, I would never go back and change.
100%,
No, never,
dude.
never.
100%.
Never.
Everything that's happened to you has made you to the person that you are right now, and the decisions that you
100%.
make.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All the no's
Exactly
push you
right.
to the yes, bro.
Exactly right.
And you know what's funny, man? Even for me, like before Corona, I was working out to get my American visa, and I was finding it difficult. And I was like, "Fuck, where am I going? What's happening?" But it actually happened at the perfect time, man.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. I had to turn back and look at myself and go, "Fuck, where can I be creative? Where can I, you know?" And there's still room to develop. That's what I mean. It's infinity, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think I'm fucking the best photographer ever. Like,
Oh, to be honest, you're
you know
fucking
what I mean?
shit. But
Yeah.
you're getting there.
I know, I'm
No,
that
no,
bad.
no.
I don't know why people get me, but
No.
But I always, and I'm very critical of myself. Like I'll put out a piece of work. Like now I look at the music video.
It's crap.
I'm like,
No,
I
don't
could've-
don't start.
Nah.
Don't get me there. Don't
So
get
what?
me
So
there.
what?
No.
So if I can ask you, what is the end goal? So like, if the end
I've
goal in
got a lot.
in photography, right? If the end goal in photography alone, what's the end goal of
My-
photography?
I
Like, what
want
can you
to-
say? Okay, now I've made it.
You know, that's a good question. Let's go around the table and ask everyone.
Yeah.
Ask him. Go.
How about you shut the fuck up? I'm asking the question.
Who shows this?
Yeah,
guy?
sorry.
This is our
Sorry, I
show,
stepped
man.
in,
I don't
sorry.
know.
that's good.
You guys got to share a mic.
Good.
You know?
It's all good. We're gonna let some people have a piece of the pie
Sorry,
every now and then,
champ. Yeah, I'm sick of listening to the podcast. It's just you talking. No,
Answer the question, fuck it.
Oh no, he's defending you. Now he's defending you.
Yeah, they're back to the news. Yeah, right.
Correct.
But no,
Steph just cracked the shit and took off.
no, I think I've got a lot of different like, oh fuck, I made it moments. You know, I always saw, oh yeah, as soon as I get my photo in the advertiser, I've made it.
Yeah.
Now my photos are in the advertiser most weekends for like wedding stuff, and I don't give a shit, and I don't care. Like, it doesn't like that's not what I want. But I think like photography wise, I would love to tour with an artist. Like that is a big goal for me, and like that's why I'm working.
What
with
kind of artist would you tour with? Not
like a rapper,
I'm
hip hop
talking about
artist.
Steph. I'm talking about artist.
Thanks, man.
Not like a hip hop artist, like you know, like it would be amazing to like travel with freaking Post Malone, like one of my favorite.
that's
artists.
dope.
You know,
So if you could have anybody
someone
be Post
like that.
Malone?
But that's what I'm thinking. Like Steph, like he's on the come up, man.
Yeah.
And I truly believe in him, and I think that he can get big. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why I'm for him, all for him.
100%.
I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna do everything. Like we're gonna work on like together. Because
Dude,
he could be that artist.
hug him, man. Hug him.
Yeah.
Get over
I mean,
No, kiss him. All right, dude.
We're gonna blow it.
Pass through the Tupperware. Dom gets two whole fucking Tupperwares.
No, but like I think through Steph, like I'm finding that artist that I can like build a path with that can get to that end goal, and that's one of my goals. I think. I also wouldn't mind having a marketing agency and photography agency, and that's something that I'm working on. That's why I'm studying marketing as well.
Yeah.
But I think when I see like my future, I see like 50 different lanes.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
And I want to go and try every single one.
That's awesome. That's
what I
cool.
see, yeah.
What about you, Frank? What's your mountaintop?
Listen, I fucking asked the question.
Yeah, it's.
To make a good coffee. Huh?
Oh, hey,
Man.
listen, champ. I'm the captain now. So we're
Oh, flames, right?
I'm the captain now, Irish.
What's your mountaintop?
I guess coffee was one aspect.
Yeah.
Like coffee was such a big thing for me in the sense of connecting with people. Connecting with people was the biggest thing for me, and coffee was my avenue in, if that makes sense. I knew that it wasn't going to be my long road.
Oh.
We are
Everything to plug the boy.
Yeah.
But I guess it was for me. It's more about having a physical and social and spiritual impact on the world.
Yep.
I want to assist human consciousness. Like I want to raise human consciousness and awareness, and I want to bring light to mental health even more. But more in an aspect of happiness.
Yeah.
Like I think that the whole persona on mental health is so dark, right? Like everything's about like what's wrong with everyone.
Yeah.
Rather than understanding that there's nothing fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It's just our minds think negatively 90% of the time because of the shit that we watch or the shit that we consume. Like everything is negative.
That's really interesting, yeah.
So it's really like everybody has to start to become more conscious about the shit that they're putting in.
Positivity, huh?
Yeah, like if you were able to create a podcast, right, or a TV show, or a channel, like a news station, that was based around positivity, that was aired 6 p.m. every fucking night.
That's actually funny because I always think, imagine if the news we digest every day was actually positive.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I don't think a single news article or anything would even run because they couldn't find a positive way to put it.
Well,
because everything they ever post is always negative.
Because that's the program.
And that's what news is. Like when you think of news, it's always going to be bad. Oh, what's the bad news?
News
you
actually fucked me up as a kid.
First.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
Do you want to get it out the way?
Yeah, like give me the bad news. I don't care about the good news.
Yeah.
When we really should care about the good news because that's the only stuff that's going to benefit.
News actually fucked me up, man. I still tell my dad now, like, you should never put the news on when I was little. Like,
I don't watch the news.
It's not his fault, but my dad, man, like I was a sponge, guys. Like when I say sponge, I remember every film. I was 4 years old. I knew every line. Jim Carrey, you fucking name it, everything. It was fucked.
Yeah.
But then you know what happens with that? When you put the news on, I couldn't sleep for 4 weeks because I saw a kid like lose his feet to miniature cockle.
Yeah.
I swear to God, man. I remember I was about 7, dude. That's not something I should have had to go through. I'm being serious.
But
It was a lot of stress, man. I was fucking stressed.
But this is what news sells, right? The bad news sells because of the programming of so many years of everything being negative having to be a thing. And the problem is that we conform to that. It's not like they put it out there, but you don't have to take it in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's a
That's true.
choice.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
have to
true.
turn the TV on.
It's like anything, and you know what? People saw that, like when World War II was on, and they were dropping flyers that your city was going to be bombed within a few days. That was a real thing that happened in Hiroshima and stuff. People didn't believe it. They were like, nah. Boom. 2 days later, flattened.
And that's funny, man.
And you know what's weird? You went there, didn't you, as well?
Oh,
Sure.
no, I didn't end
Oh,
up
okay.
going.
We went,
Yeah.
and that's what was happening. They didn't believe it. There was flyers. You will be bombed. Please evacuate your city. Because it's not a terrorist attack. It was a war. But they had to do that. And that's what I fucking learned over there anyway. So I don't know if I'm wrong, historians, whatever. But I reckon the world watched that and thought, when there's negative news, everyone moves. When it's positive, everyone thinks it's like, oh, whatever. And they've grabbed onto that, man. They saw the fear. They saw how the fear sold. The fear sells the quickest.
Yeah, well, I think the fear does drive everybody, right? And there's positives of fear and there's positive negatives of fear. Like if you have let's say you have a traumatic experience as a child,
Yeah.
but you don't actually realise, but it could be one of the biggest things that's driving you to this day to do what you do.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like being, for instance, being bullied around my intelligence as a child really led me to understand why people think what they think, why people do what they do, why people want to interact with certain people, why bullies feel the need to bully.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Well,
real
they're clearly
thing.
obviously something at home's going on as well a lot of the time.
Well, like
And I feel like
Their
it's a
parents are
lot of
bullying them,
it's a
man.
lot of in themselves as well. It's like
yeah,
they see someone doing something that they wish they could do, or that they wish they had some fulfillment like that, and then they'd be like, well, if this guy can do that, then I can, and I'm not doing it, then fuck this guy. Like, what a
100%,
loser!
man.
Why are you doing that for? Like, but really, it's because they can't do it, and they
They
don't,
don't have, they don't have the guts.
yeah,
either.
they don't have the guts to go out and do something that they enjoy and that they want to do, and it doesn't matter what other people say, like think. Do you know?
Yeah,
Well,
100%.
like I bring it back to like, you ever heard that saying when a young boy, when you're like a kid, when you're 10, 12, 13, whatever, teases a girl, and they
Because
say they like him.
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
It's true, but why does a boy tease a girl? Why doesn't the boy go up and say to the girl, "I like you"?
Vulnerability.
It's because they're scared
Well-
to get for the girl to be like, I don't like you.
And who taught them to get scared?
Well, they're probably their first people they've interacted with, their parents.
But why would a girl? Why is it like? Why does it when you like somebody, you put them down?
Yeah, I know. We all do it.
Nick still does it to me on the podcast every week. Tune in, guys.
He doesn't fucking like you.
Yeah, I'm putting you boys down, man. But
Yeah. What do you think the answer is, Frank?
From what I've learned, it's got nothing to do with it. It's actually all to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a vision of like we feel that we're not loved from our parents. Now, being raised from our parents is not like it's not their problem. They taught us what they best knew.
Yeah.
Right? Your father belting the shit out of you when you're fucking trying to sleep
yeah.
is what he thought is the best thing for you.
Yeah.
It's genuinely out of care.
Yeah.
That taught you to some fucking way that maybe you got to beat the shit out of somebody to give care.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that did teach
No,
you
it
that,
didn't.
but it in some way it could have taught you that.
Yeah.
Does you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like my dad's dad was very anxious. Obviously, this is before mental health was even a thing. And he would react, snap bang. Not in a bad. He was very kind, but to teach you, you had to learn yourself, or you're fucking hopeless. Learn.
Yeah.
And then my dad grabbed onto that, and that's like my dad teaching me manual. We spoke about this. Not a good experience for me. But you know what, man? You know why I burned that clutch? Because I didn't want him in the car. I got to teach myself. Fuck it. And I burned the clutch, and you know what? He actually wasn't that mad. As much as I say he was fucking, he actually wasn't that mad.
Yeah.
Because I think he knew deep down that, you know what? We went out together the other day. We made no progress. He went out on his own. He burnt the clutch, but you know what? He's fucking taught himself, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Maybe by me learning, I taught him fucking something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we should, like we've said before, lead by example, dude. If we can teach our parents something, you can leave the earth and be happy. That's how I feel.
The way
anyway.
you're brought up is a big. I guess it's massive. It's how you think and the things you do is the way is from how you were brought up. I watched an interesting documentary on Vice of a school where all the kids that are in that school are the ones that have gotten kicked out from like a public school because of violence. So it's a massive like violence-driven like school. Like it's just all kids that just want to fight all the time.
Imagine being the teacher.
Yeah, and they go around and they
The
follow.
teacher's Randy Couture. You gone?
They follow this one kid around all day, and he's just like, you know, I come to school and like I think about who I want to fight. Like I visualize the guy I want to fight, and I go up to him and I punch him in the face. And if he retaliates, then it's a fight. If he doesn't, I beat him until the teacher holds me back.
Yeah.
And it's just all this shit. And then they go, but like, what happens at home? And he goes, and he says something about like, he's like, at home I'm at war. Like at home I've got to.
Cut out, guys. Sorry, man.
Damn, I was getting to a good part, man.
My fucking thing's fucked. Hang on.
Yeah, it's because you're using an Air. Is that an Air?
No, it's a Pro, but
Doesn't have a good interface.
hang on. No, it does. It does. You know what's happening? Because we've gone so long.
You don't have enough RAM.
It saves straight onto the computer. I hate that.
Oh, you should have plugged in there.
Yeah, it's plugged in, but it doesn't go straight to it. I'll get you to teach me after. Hang on. At home, you're at war. Just remember.
We'll go to the end, just roll it. Yeah, exactly. You gotta pay him for that.
Everything's for free, man. Yeah, I think.
$50, man. He's gonna take
Buffalo.
2,076 photos for you. Relax.
Bufungal. He's gonna set me up on a subscription.
Mary, you're gonna get to.
No, we're going to talk about that later.
Mary, you're gonna get to your what your end goal is.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The question I asked you about the 25
We
minutes
just-
ago.
He got taken somewhere else.
This is an impulsive podcast.
Yeah, it's good.
Alright,
We're
ready?
just going into rooms.
Wait, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, what's the...
At home, I'm at war.
Is that where it stops? So cut that.
It says
I'm at
war.
home. Do I just say at home I'm at war?
Just start that again. Say,
See, it's already.
Yeah, and you'll cut that out after.
You mean, I'm at home, I'm at.
You'll edit
war.
that out after.
So I'm at home, I'm at war.
Ready? Say,
Leave a
at
message
home,
after.
I'm at war.
Yeah.
Ready?
At home I'm at war. At home I'm at war. And he's so yeah, he's at home I'm at war. To be alive for when I get to school tomorrow.
Fuck.
And like I was just taken back by that. I was like, fuck, like they didn't show what happens at home. But even a kid, like I think he was like maybe like year 7 or something like that. And he's saying shit like that. At home I'm at war. Just so I can be alive to come to school tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
What?
full on, man. Yeah, and like you said, I think home life has a lot to do with, you know, it's your first beginnings. It's like your first playground.
Yeah.
It's your first interaction. But then again, I believe like what Frank says, and I say this a lot too, then you become responsible as a human. You reach an age where you have to take responsibility for your actions, what you've learnt, what you want to learn, who you want to be. And that's a game changer. That's why people that of low socioeconomic people become, you know, what they want to be. You know, for example, I'm a big LeBron James fan. He grew up single mum. You know, his mum would leave him at a friend's house from school, like a school friend. He'd sleep there during school nights. They would take him to school because his mum would work till 3 a.m, 2 jobs. Yeah. And she didn't want to go home and have to take him to school. Yeah. And he'd have to stay in his room by himself while his mum was out at work in like the projects. Yeah. And now he's almost worth $1 billion. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's a correlation between he's taking responsibilities for his life somewhere. Somewhere along that line, he went, I've got to change the narrative.
But there's a lot of correlation between like that and the biggest people in the world.
Correct.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like, why does
You
like...
never hear a privileged kid like. Well, you do.
Right, you do.
But you never hear those stories. Like
Well,
you
it's
never
like-
hear like when I was a kid, my dad was so rich, and like now I'm like the famous. Like now I'm a famous artist. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't really
Like
hear
you
those
do,
stories.
but the stories people want to pull on are the ones who come from...
Yeah, but I'm not saying you have to be poor and like socioeconomic to be rich.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you take responsibility of your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't want to do it when they have everything. They believe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But this is
they
what I
don't
mean.
want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to better themselves. They don't want to
Well,
do
there's no
anything,
need.
and
There's
they
no
don't,
need.
because they've
You're
already got
comfortable.
everything.
Like, you know how you were saying before,
Yeah.
before Corona, you were content. And Corona came in, and now you're like, fuck.
And you
this
see
is
a lot.
like-
You see it's sad, but you see a lot of like sons of artists. You know,
They're trying to
women or
find
men,
themselves
and
because
daughters
they're
of artists.
in the shadow.
In
Yeah.
the shadow.
Well, you see actually a lot pass away. Melissa Etheridge's son just passed away at 21 from opioid addiction. She was a big singer in the 80s, man. She had a lot of money. And that's where you hear of things like Bill Gates and, let's not talk about him, but everyone hates him at the moment. But
Yeah.
you hear of big people don't want to drip feed they don't want to fucking
Well,
give
what's
their kids
Jordan's
everything.
kids that like?
They're just part of the brand.
But this is what I mean. You don't know. Like they haven't gone
Yeah.
and done something themselves.
and
they
look,
can do
yeah.
whatever the fuck they're doing, right? I'm not saying that, but when you have a father figure or a mother figure that does something that's so big, it's sometimes difficult to step away from that. It's sometimes difficult because you almost get
You
engrossed.
see a lot of them struggle with addiction, man.
Yeah, well,
And there has to be a direct correlation with them having an expectation of, and they put it on themselves as well, you know, and fuck, man, like, I don't know what it's like, obviously, but they probably come from a place of like, fuck, man, I'm gonna live up to my dad.
But this way,
And then they've got the money and they're like, fuck, I'll just live like a rock star already. I don't need to win the fucking trophy to become a rock star.
but like this is what
Do you
I
know what I mean?
This is what me and Nick were talking about the other day, and Nick just mentioned it's a big thing with people that like Eric Thomas. Do you know Eric Thomas?
Yeah.
So ET, he's a big motivational speaker as well.
Yeah, he's the one when you want to breathe as much as you want to succeed. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's a beast.
The guy's a beast, right?
Fuck.
Was homeless from 15 to 19.
Yeah.
Came home to his mum. Like his mum kicked him out because he's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Lived out in the streets from 15 to 19. 19 fucking woke up, goes, I gotta sort my shit out.
Yeah.
Just one day
And
woke
then-
up
and
and
I actually-
went home and
and
got
you-
a fucking degree. Became a doctor in like social sciences. And he's just he wants to
Psychologist.
change. Yeah, he wants to change the world.
And can I be honest as well? I actually don't believe everyone needs to be like LeBron or Jay-Z and stuff. I actually think like Russ Vitale, he's a fucking, like, you can say what you want. Dude, the guy's got Grammys now. He's got millions of streams. The guy grew up in like an Italian home in Brooklyn and just like, or whatever fucking Staten, or whatever the fuck he was, Staten Island. Like living a normal life. And even Gary Vee, his parents' wine company was worth $1 million.
Yeah.
Does that mean they had $1 million in their pocket? Probably not. They probably had an okay life. They still had fucking bills to pay and a lot of stresses. The guy's a multi-millionaire. But for him, for Gary, it wasn't about the money. He could have been a multi-millionaire without being on as a public figure. All his content's free.
He just wanted to do stuff.
All his content's free. Have you ever paid for his advice? Have you?
No.
Have you?
No.
Have you?
No.
Me either. The guy wants to change the world, and he already came from a bit of money. Yeah, he was a son of immigrants, but they already had a business.
It's interesting because he made those wine tasting videos.
Yeah,
He made like 100 videos.
More.
Like,
More.
more, whatever.
I don't
think
think
1,000
it didn't
dude.
pop. No, it popped at 290 something.
Yeah, he
popped at like
was
200 something
continuously
cooked, right?
making these
From
videos
his
with like
lounge room and shit,
2
yeah.
views of him just pressing it twice. You know what I mean? But like he
He
just
actually lost a
wanted,
lot of weight during it, just quietly. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
but he just
He
wanted
was
to
working
make
himself.
them.
But this is what I'm going. Like he's taking responsibility
Yeah,
in his
he
life.
just wanted
Yeah,
to make
took
them.
That's what I'm saying. He took responsibility. He's gone, okay, I've got to do it. Not my dad, not me. I've got to do it.
Because a lot of people try to fuck him up, and they're like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Your business, you know what everyone's like, trying to bring you down. What are you talking about? Your
Well,
business, your business made your parents' business made $1
He
million. He goes, yeah, the business is worth $1 million. Doesn't mean we had that in our pocket. That's just what it was worth. So we sell that. How long's $1 million gonna last? When I'm fucking 15, my sister's 17.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through college. How long's that last? What, 10 years? Really?
Well,
in America?
he talks about when he came back to the wine store after college, right? He went to college, came back. He was like 27 or something.
Yeah.
And one of his mates from college rocks up with his Merc, and he's like, "Can you fill my boot?" He's having to carry the wine.
Yeah, I know that
He talks
story.
about the story all the time.
And that was just a moment. That was just a moment where he
and the
maybe
guy,
felt
like,
small.
made him feel small.
Yeah,
the guy
there you
like
go.
made him like, you're just filling my
Probably
my
looking
trunk.
down at his Rolex.
Like going
and
like,
shit.
dude, you were in college with me. Like, now you're filling my trunk. He's like, yeah, we'll see you in 5 years, motherfucker. That's what he said. He goes, I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He changed everything, but
Yeah.
for himself. That was a choice.
And like he said,
Same
he's
with
like,
DiMartini.
Same.
DiMartini was he's a behavioural scientist, like a behavioural psychologist, unbelievable. And he was homeless till he was, I think he was 18.
fuck.
Homeless. Mum kicked him out. Homeless. He decided that he had to go to school. He made a choice. It depends on how hard someone wants something.
You're
It's
correct.
like how much you want to breathe, right? It's the same fucking thing. It becomes a
Deep
point.
breath.
Like it happens in relationships where like we've all been through this, right? When you go to your point in the relationship where you're like, I can't fucking do it anymore. I can't fucking do it anymore. And then you pack the relationship, and the relationship's like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, do I need that person back?
Yeah.
But it's a momentary thing too. You got to be real with what's real for you. And when you own your truth, and when you can speak your truth, right? When you came to the realization that you can take your fucking shirt off on the beach,
Yeah.
it was because you owned you.
Yeah.
Like you own your truth. It didn't matter anyone else.
Yeah.
So like always remember, if you take your missus out of it,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
Yeah.
Because it's about you. It's not about her. It's not about the shit she gives you. It's not about the reassurance she gives you.
Yeah.
It's not about anything. Because nothing's ever like given.
Yeah.
Samantha's not guaranteed for you. One day you're gonna die, and Samantha's gonna die. Nothing's guaranteed. It's about understanding.
Fuck.
No, it's about being real. Like if you can get to that place for yourself.
It's true, man.
It's
If
very
you can
true.
get to that place for you, and Samantha can get to that place for herself, you guys live a far more ascended life. Like in the point of understanding who you are.
It's true, man.
Yep.
And it's about everything else just gravitates to you.
And it goes back to the journey thing. You start to learn these things
100%.
on your journey. As you start to take more and more responsibility, you gain more and more courage. You gain a bigger thought process. You gain more empathy, more sympathy, less fear, more doing, and that's part of the journey, man. That's
More
just faith.
faith,
Yeah,
as
more
well,
faith. That's what I mean.
more-
Faith. Your heart
so
gets,
much
your
more
heart
faith.
gets bigger. So
Back
back to the question,
question.
Frank. Your Mount Rushmore's to encourage the world. Thanks, mate. Steph, what's yours, dude?
What about you, bro?
No, I'll go last. Keep it short, man, because Frank took 27 minutes.
Oh,
So-
fuck,
Fuck,
take it
dude,
out.
I have to change the hard drives over.
Oh, should we make this a part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah.
Just-
we're going Rogan style.
Just say it there, Steph. Like, what's your Mount Rushmore? What's your, like, the end? That's it.
Mount Rushmore is
Not actual what Mount Rushmore is.
For me.
That's
For me.
your Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore is a place in Minnesota.
Yeah,
No. For me, man, I want to be a platinum selling artist.
Yeah.
I want to be touring the world.
Yeah.
Annually, and
Wanna be or are?
I am.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. And I'm the spokesperson for mental health, especially anxiety, in music.
That's cool.
That's me. 100%.
You get that, buddy?
Fuck, that was sharper than Frank's answer. That was to
Oh
the
fuck!
point,
I
man.
don't know where we.
Because he knows what he wants.
I've been working on this for a while, and
Yeah.
fucking you blokes have pummeled into me that I need to be specific. I was like, yeah, I want to fuck alive. No. But I've learned that I want to be specific, and the more I knew that, the more things were coming to me. Like I spoke at a school last year on mental health in a music class to music students, and I was like, ask and you shall receive, dude. Like as much faith as you want to have, or whatever. Even if you're not religiously faithful or whatever, the universe spoke back, man. And I got an email from someone I've never seen, never met. He loved my song Long Road. This was 6 months after. He loved my song Each Other, and he loved the place I was coming from. And he goes, do you want to come and speak on Are You OK Day, which is about mental health?
Yeah.
I was like, what? We never even did that at CBC. And I was like, done. I'm there.
Huge.
I didn't even know what the fuck, like how long. I didn't know what time. I didn't know what any. I said, yep, done. I'm there.
That's awesome.
And I was talking to music students, man, and like that's when I knew I had to be specific. And I actually think my upbringing, watching my nonno, watching my dad, my uncle, is the reason why I've always wanted to do music. And I was talking about it with Frank today. I never gave up. There was times I wanted to give up. There was a year off. There was those same dudes that picked on me, rocked up to my first show after a year and a half. And I walked out the front and I said, nah, I'm leaving. I'm going to leave. Fuck it. I shut my pants. I was like, nah, man, I'm going to fucking, my throat's going to, like, I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
And I just fucking looked up at the sky and I said, nah, dude, I'm going to put on a show and a half. And I just went up and put the best set. Both of those people came up to me. I said, dude, that was fucking amazing. Swear to God, no bullshit. One said, you've improved here, or whatever it was, I didn't fucking know. And I was like, you know what, man? It was up to me. I created the whole thing. I could have got in the car and left and never done another live show, bro. That was it. That was the moment, dude, where I was like, nah, this is it. And from then, I hadn't written Long Road yet, properly, maybe a couple of lines or something. Boom. Boom, 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 and Long Road was probably my first time, well actually a little bit before that, but I finally realised my purpose is why I do it. So that's why I'm specific, boys.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Bridget.
Mine, man, fuck. Mine's literally, man, it's like literally, I will entertain the world. It's literally that. I'll entertain the world, I'll inspire the world.
You are already.
Yeah, already am. You know,
Literally are.
and it took me a while to realise that I'm actually doing that day in, day out.
Yeah.
Like setting up this podcast, putting
Yeah.
a camera there, getting on the
You
mic.
entertain me on my way to work every
exactly,
morning,
man.
Nah, serious.
And that's why I made these decisions.
Well, I'm not in the
To-
podcast.
to-
I'm joking.
to go on
I'm
this
sick
to
of
go
it.
on these dating shows, to make my own TV show with my friends, to get back on Instagram. I've had me and Frankie almost got on My Kitchen Rules twice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's another story.
Oh,
Yeah, that's another story. Me and
That's
Frank almost
another
got.
podcast.
You know, and looking back on that now,
Yeah.
if I said to myself, I'm telling you, we would have gone on if I just said to myself, because I got into my head like,
Yeah.
fuck, it's not acting, it's not what I. But if I just got into my head that
Just did
I
it.
get on this and I'll entertain the
Yeah,
world,
entertain
it
the
would have
world,
been
yeah.
simple, man. And I just come up with that attitude now, because like the movies that I watch, like Jurassic Park, Karate Kid, I watched recently, Back to the Future. I'm looking at this and go, this is what I want to do on this stage.
Yeah.
I want to tell these stories where, you know, you probably remember scenes from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the impact I want to have on people and go,
Yeah.
fuck, you're the funniest
And
guy
you know
I've
what,
ever seen.
Yeah.
Or that's the best scene, and you want and it gives you some sort of like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's a relieving feeling. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain.
And something huge for you is I know you always struggled with this because you've
Yeah.
spoken to me about it. You always wanted to be the best
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Those 3 movies, not one of those guys has ever won an Oscar.
Nah, it's not
Not
about.
one of those guys is the best actor. And I think you found your purpose. They just entertained.
Yeah, correct.
It's true. It's true though. And I
It's
feel
not
like
about
you
the
had to
trophies. it's not
Nah.
about
Nah,
that,
well, I know you've told me. You used to be obsessed with being the best actor.
Yeah, of
Otherwise,
course.
you couldn't be an actor. That's not true.
Nah, it's not.
That's
not
not
at all.
true. Dude, Adam Sandler, he's great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but he's not
The best.
the best. You know what I mean?
100%.
But he's fucking. Dude, most people remember that name over Daniel Day-Lewis.
100%,
No bullshit.
100%, man. I agree with that, and that's what it's about for me, man. It's about entertaining the world, and through Back to the Future, and like movies like The Godfather, and like, you know, people like Marlon Brando, Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, they entertain the world, man. They leave something here for us to dance, sing along, cry.
Yeah.
That's what I want to have.
Yeah.
To leave something here for that, you know, and that you can just turn it on and go, fuck that I feel good again, or I
Jerry
feel-
Lewis.
or you know what, I'm gonna go
Wow.
talk. You know, the moment, you know, when you watch a movie and you go, you know what, I'm gonna go hug my girlfriend now, or like that moment when you watch a
Yeah.
scene and you're like, oh fuck, man, why did I get upset with my dad yesterday about that? You know,
Yeah.
that's the legacy that I want to leave. That's what I want to leave. Those lasting impressions. That's powerful, man. That's bigger than, you know,
Impact.
anything. Yeah. And I think, and like, you know, fuck, man, I reckon I've had over 150 people say no to me. Agents, well-known people. But you just keep going, man.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
And I think it's a big thing in goal setting for everyone. Is that it shouldn't, your goal should never be to be the best.
Nah, never, man.
It should always be like just to do what you like. Do
Yeah,
what
let them
makes
call you the
happy,
best.
Like,
Yeah.
let other people call you
Correct.
the best, or like let other people say your music's
Bro,
killer, like something.
Marlon
like that.
Brando, he didn't even know. He didn't even know what the fuck he was doing. I don't reckon. He just rocked out like, I'm fucking sucking back.
Well, like Frank said the other day, Michael Jordan, dude.
Yeah,
Well, what does he want to do, Frank, all the time?
Win.
yeah.
All he wants to do, man.
Huge
He just wants to win.
Everything he did.
I saw this meme and they were like, man, Michael Jordan's reasons for whipping people's asses to the point of no return are getting a bit petty. And it was like, he called me mate. I didn't like that. So, I had to drive 57
It's
points
so
on his
funny,
ass.
yeah.
Dude,
in
I saw-
the
I saw-
doco how he it was like someone said, "Nice game, Mike."
Made it
Yeah.
up.
So that he made that up,
Made
so
it
that
up.
the next game he drops 37
37 in
half time.
in one half.
How about
Clyde
this
Drexler,
guy.
he looked like he was bowling during the game. Clyde Drexler looked like he was going bold during the
Winning
game.
at half time with a full head of hair.
He was going
Coming out with patches. Oh,
He had
yeah.
pounds of
I saw the
hair.
I saw the best meme. It goes, if Michael Jordan went through therapy during the 90s, he would have averaged 4 points.